Alright, feeling good, feeling awesome. It is warm today. Actually, what's the weather real quick? Hold on, before I start anything. What's the temp today? Temp today is going to be... Oh, is that? Oh, okay. Alright. 70s, low 70s today. Why does it feel like it's like 75 in this room, though? Good God. Oh, well. What is up, everyone? This is... Yeah, whatever. Coffee with Soul. I'm your host. We're going to chat. We're going to talk. I want to read this thing, this list of demands for, what do collectors want from World of Warcraft. I'm kind of interested to see what that's about. I saw a couple of bullet points and I was like, oh, okay. This will be a thing to, like, run the clock. As we get ready for visits in just a little bit. We're going to see another 5 wonderful folks. So we're going to see Celethia and Death Doggy and Crafty Luna, Thorchus, and we round it out with Holy Zen. Yes, that's one. Yeah, that's 5. Okay, so looking forward to that. We'll see how that goes. It is Wednesday. Hope everyone's doing well. It is one day after our raid, and what did we do? We progressed on Lura, and it was pretty productive. We managed to get to phase 3 like once after like 20-some pulls or so. Learning how to not get cut, learning how to tank swap correctly, and then figuring out the whole like carry the gem thing and all that stuff. So I hope that folks come through tomorrow, because we tend to have like a pretty different roster going from Tuesday to Thursday because stuff happens, people got stuff to do, or it's not really like their raid day, or because we raid pretty late, and some folks are getting older, they're almost graduated from high school, oh my god, and so they can't really stay up that late these days, which kind of sucks, but oh well, it's just kind of how it goes. But I'm pretty confident that we'll be able to get it. We're gonna have like a full day on that thing. We pretty much had a full day on Tuesday anyway, but then this time we have a bit more of a plan. Yay! And we'll go all out. Vance's runes and all that other good stuff. Because I think it's now just a question of like, getting the practice in and getting the routine, and then just getting the proper throughput. But it's going to be a lot of repetitions if we figure that stuff out. So let's say hi to people real quick. What's up to Ravens? You're the first person to say hi. You get a point. It means nothing, but you get a point anyway. What's up to Arcadius, and to Blindwind, to Miss Annie and Hazelnut. Hello to Malvenue and Elberthier. Hello to Talani, to Darth. What's up, buddy? Hello to Red Manda Panda and the Sexy Sarah, to Mistia, and to the rest of y'all. The beautiful Digital Spawn Phase is going to be joining us today. Just a quick check. There is a drop promo going on, so don't forget to go to twitch.tv/inventory to check your status and otherwise claim your white Murgle pet. Not pet, it's a decor thing. Make sure to claim it, and then you'll be good. There was an update that I saw about the Rufus pets, and I think folks on Discord were talking about it real quick. It's no longer on sale. It's been taken off the store, but it is right now. If you go to that usual vendor, I don't even know where that vendor is because I've never bought extras. But when you see, here's the, if you go to Dania Silvertongue in Silvermoon City, you can buy more puppy stuff. As in, you can buy like more of the decor stuff. Now, I predict that if and when Rufus returns to the store, it's no longer going to be a charity thing. But when you do buy it, it's still probably going to come in that bundle. And then from that, you'll get like your first thing of the decor, and then you can just buy more of the gold. So, yay, what do you do? Some folks were asking about that in other commentary too. So, just in case, pass that along and let people know that, hey, you can buy more stuff now. And so now I expect to see that roof be like used in all sorts of like different things. We'll see what sorts of creations people come up with, because people are quite inventive with all that. It was 80 yesterday, and then today it's about 60 over in Seattle. Good God. That sucks. Someone's gonna stay up that and stuff because we want Ro to graduate high school. You know, it is kind of graduation season now. Now that I'm remembering stuff, like people, like younger people, actual younger people, they're doing like prom, they're doing their graduation stuff. That's why my parents are here. My niece is gonna have her graduation towards the end of the month or so. Last year was my nephew's, and so yay, you know, so off they go doing their college stuff. Although they're not that far. My nephew is just in like, you know, he's just down the street, pretty much, over at the state college there. Niece, I think she's gonna be going to junior college for a little bit while she figures her stuff out. So, you know, fun and all that. Have I noticed the be a good neighbor task is a bug? It's not counting for me. For me, it's been kind of it was a different issue. It just auto completed. Like I forgot what I did. All of a sudden, I got the prompt to just turn in the quest. I was like somewhere in town here, and it was just done. I'm like, oh, okay. So I claimed my moral, and that was it. So I think that's an ongoing thing, but it's the easiest kind of bug. Oh, you're talking about be a good neighbor test. Oh, okay. I don't know. I have not done any Endeavor stuff at all. All I did was start it up, and like that was it. So if I go and look, did anyone else do stuff? So we all kill raid bosses. Cool. Drop a line. Complete dells, raid bosses. Something neighbor. I don't see a thing about a neighbor. So we picked up Consortium. So I don't know. Yeah. Maybe it's bugged, but I am... They don't seem to be showing progress, but they're still complete. Okay. I mean, I don't see the thing here, but... Hey, we hit the first milestone. Yeah. Comments. Good neighbor quest doesn't look like it's counting the activities, but when you close and reopen it... Oh, okay. So it worked. So it's a visual bug. It sounds like, right? It's not working. It is, but it's not working. But it's working. Something like that, right? All right. List of demands. What do collectors want from World of Warcraft? I think I did see from the initial read that, you know, the creator who made this video put it together. Like, it's very nuanced. It's, you know, this isn't everybody, but I just want to simplify and just look at the list of demands because I'm curious, you know, and so I'll do some commentary as we run the clock a little bit, and then we'll get to some fun time visits. Okay, so this creator named Nabble, they suggest several ways to fix problems that many collectors have run into, in some cases dozens of times on dozens of characters. So the collector mindset, it's this whole spectrum, you know. I'm a collector of shields and transmog and the core. I'm also not really hard up. I also do it very casually, quote, casually. I'm not so hard up on like, oh, I gotta get the thing now, and you know, I don't get so hyper focused on something. So, you know, some of my commentary, I'm just gonna be like, oh, I don't seem like a big deal, and I don't mean that as I'm like trash talking or nothing, but you know, we all come from different viewpoints. So anyway, they want to not have to repeat grind on multiple characters to collect BOP drops like patterns that can only be used with specific professions. That makes sense. Like having you know, having BOP recipes, old BOP recipes, just convert it into warband stuff, or make them warband instead of just find on pickup. You know, that sounds quite reasonable. Allowing everything, or at least all the things, to be done on a single character. BFA, Warfronts, and PvP expeditions are major examples of activities that practically can't be done anymore, much less actively fun because they require many extra players. Oh, so this is a tough one. And now this one isn't easy, like, yes, that would be like the best thing. The problem, sorry to kill the excitement already, not the problem, but the challenge with that is when they make this content. When they make this content, the goal is to get it to work. All right, it's like, all right, WoW devs, you have this many months to get this content working, and hopefully be as bug free as possible. Right? It would be nice, right? It would be nice if during the initial development of a thing, such as Warfronts, PvP expeditions, whatever, if they already had a facility in place to make it soloable this many years from now. Like the common logic would be, oh yeah, it would save the devs having to deal with that later, because things like Warfronts, they're still not solo, right? And those initially make sense. The sucky reality of game dev though is they don't really have the time to do that on top of it. You know, they typically need to develop things for like right now. We need to get this thing just working. And if the thing that players will want many years from now, if that's not working, they're not going to know that. They're not going to, they're not going to care. We can't delay this feature because, something about the future tech broke the present tech. So they just don't bother with it. I hope that makes sense. But they can basically, they're developing for the present. And now they need to take something like these features and then weave that into, okay, guys, people want this thing, but we also have all this other stuff going on that they don't know about. But people really, really want this. And so this just keeps getting, they keep kicking the bucket down the road or something like that. They keep delaying it. So it does suck. But I can see why something like this is really hard to do. It's easy for us to want it, of course, but yeah. Really challenging. Still want them to do it, but I see why it's challenging. Removing lockouts from legacy content, or at least making them shorter, and instead of just circumventing them with their memory vaults, if players are going to run them multiple times per day anyway, why not just let them do it on the same character? I'm not so fond of the idea of, hey, yeah, I think there's a careful balance here between, what's the word I want to use? Should we reward people that just have more time in the day than others? In some cases, yeah, collectors would love this. Now this is with regards to legacy content, right? And this kind of goes back to, this kind of goes back to this. Okay, the scrolling is weird. This goes back to this conversation here about having these, having legacy content be, easily just remove the lockouts, nice and done. They would need to add more dev time to make something like this work ahead of time, and that's not typically that's typically not on their mind. Enable legacy loot with the release of new expansion instead of waiting for the next two. I get that. I don't mind that it's, dude, okay, Wowhead's being goofy. I can't just scroll up and down. That's so weird. Okay, yeah, enabling legacy with the release of new expansion. Yeah, I get where they're coming from. I'm fine with waiting for the next two. Yeah. Because you're just waiting for something to release anyway, so not a big deal. I guess it's also because it seems like it's too soon. Like, okay, here's a good example. There was that one collection event where there was like increased drop rates of mounts, increased drop rates of transmog, like double trans. It was crazy. Tons of people were coming into play, right? It was huge. It was like this big wish fulfillment, this big catharsis of like, oh my god, this thing that I wanted for years, it finally dropped. Yeah, and so it was a big plus for the game, and then it ended, right? And a lot of folks were like, dude, they got to do it again, like every expansion or every year or something like that. And I don't know if that's a good idea, because if they do it too soon, then it kind of plants a seed in people's heads. Oh, I don't have to worry about collections now. I could just wait until collections are made into like legacy stuff, so that way I can just like not do anything. And so something like this. Okay, it's so weird. Where was I? Something like this would like actually derail some of the other demands, which would be kind of weird. Making more legacy currency transferable between characters, that makes sense. Adding legacy raid skips for things, especially for lengthy older raids like ICC and Black Temple. make I guess, but it's already trivial to do it anyway, and if people are already running it, you know, for collections, sure, why not? Yeah. I mean, this is the list of demands, you know, big and small, so no big deal. Lowering old expansion world boss respawn timers. I think that would screw with things. I don't know what that... I have a feeling that would break stuff that we don't quite understand. I think it'd be cool. I think it would also be cool to have like a boss rush mode or something like that for like the current game that could feel like, not like a mage tower thing, but something that just feels like, okay, this thing's got some teeth, something like that. Make better filters for achievements and collections tabs. Oh, UI upgrade, absolutely. Adding more returns so players can get back to the beginning of legacy dungeons and raids after finishing them. That'd be cool. There's one does, however, while not all collectors may agree with some suggestions, others are wildly popular suggestions that have been made for years with collector communities, like bringing back old versions of content that have since been reworked. Yeah, that's a lot. I mean, these are big asks, so they also want more chase items for housing, such as a rare drop, decor, or patterns, instead of most decor coming from guaranteed drops and vendors. It should be noted that Blizzard has already started to do this, with some midnight raid bosses having only a chance to drop unique decor, though not for any previous content. I don't think that would land. I don't know. I don't think that would land well. If people had to like, if people had to farm PvE or PvP content for a chance at more rare items that they may want, that's gonna piss people off. That would bring in the crowd of folks who are like, dude, we should be able to just get it once and then buy it with gold going forward or something like that. You know, it would kind of clash with that conversation. Randomly dropped clue scrolls, sending players on treasure hunts, completing various tasks, earn materials, gear, pets, mounts, and so on. That'd be cool. More collection-related achievements, which do get added over time, but not nearly equal to the pace of new things to collect. The Joy of Toys, a good example, as there are around twice as many toys in the game. Okay, so like low-level achievements, I guess. Giving more clarity on item drops, where they come from, and their drop rates, instead of using player-submitted data to guess at them. Do I want... Should they what's the word I want to use? That feels like a knock against like fan sites and Wowhead and stuff. Like, it'd be convenient and stuff, but it's also one of those invisible hand things that prevent players from having this sort of interaction, otherwise helping each other out. But oh well, that's my take. They need to create a one small team of devs specifically to go back through the older expansions and make any changes. But what's unfortunate for the Voodoo is that it's not a great idea to have specialized devs for that, because between what they do, they'll want to work. They'll want to have them work on present stuff, and for the most part, you want to have them work on more present stuff than legacy stuff, because the audience for present stuff is arguably much larger than legacy stuff. Right? 90 months, Sapphire. Ooh, boy, what a milestone. Yeah. See, now we gotta kill Lura on Thursday. There's still people doing dub, so it's just making it hard for them to do the content. So not a fan of that, but yeah, I get it when collecting. Yeah, this is the collection standpoint, so, you know, I know I'm being a little dismissive of like some of the things, but you know, I hear them. Chance to drop has to code rather than guaranteed drop is terrible. Yeah, like there and like the article says, there are already things that are like, you know, a chance drop. Like the egg from the bird boss in Macho Coldonas, and there's like this void portal stuff and all that, you know, and eventually, you know, when legacy mode kicks in, like folks will be able to just go in there, and maybe they'll up the drop rate to 100% by that point. I don't know. We haven't really ventured into that frontier yet, so we're not sure. Too bad when last night my time expires today. Oh, you buster. That's why you gotta come back. Sucker. MMO shouldn't be such a low drop rate. Their drop rate should increase each time you don't get it. Sure. Yeah. I almost say, like, why not? I feel like the core is going to position itself to be like the kind of thing that will continuously get people to run old content. Now, of course, again, you have that crowd of housing folk that are like, dude, we should be able to just buy it once and like that's it. We have unlimited use, and they're never going to change from, you know, they're never going to relent on that. So we're going to keep hearing that sort of rhetoric. Goes against all MMO. What do you mean by that, Ribka? What goes against all MMO game design? Let's see. All right. So let me. Do I need to do anything right now? I think I'm good on stuff for the most part. Oh, that's right. I wanted to like send a whole bunch of stuff to. I have a whole bunch of Warbound stuff that I need to just DE and like get rid of. It's quite a bit. I'm kind of shocked over all of a sudden how much Warbound stuff I have. Like, where did this all come from? Okay, some of this is legacy stuff. Oh, okay, that's legacy. Okay, so I need to send these off to like characters. Oh, that sucks. I'm not going to be happy with that. Shucks. Okay, but they can go that. Nope, not that. Cauldron I keep. That stuff can go. Meanwhile, let me see if these happen to sell. Doubt it. But you never know. Anything else I want to like get rid of? No. It's crazy. I totally drained of my inventory briefly because I wanted to go through like a whole bunch of legacy runs. I did a whole bunch of I did all the Dragonflight raids on Mythic because I wanted to, you know, see how much gold I got from it. It's about 6,000 gold, by the way, which ain't bad, but it's kind of the thing that you want, that you feel like, oh man, I wish I had a speed set for this because yeah, this is kind of taking a bit to traverse. Not relying on user-submitted design to find things. Yeah, like, remember the old days, buddies, when all we had were, like, forums and stuff, and there wasn't really, like, this whole repository and social media kinds of sites to help us out? We had to... It was spread by kind of word of mouth. And then you had to go into, like, some forum or, like, some fact that someone had, and maybe they were right and all that, but that's very much an internet thing. The internet evolved, it became so much more sophisticated than it once was, and it sucks. So kind of sucks. All right, so let's go to first place and we'll just hang out for a bit before we start. The buy it once idea doesn't fit with the rest of while you're building the engineering thing. You run out of ore, you gotta go mine some. You know, and I've softened very slightly when it comes to, hey, I want to buy it once with the currency, and then I want to buy it, you know, I want to buy it once the original way, but then if I want copies, I spend gold. I'm of the mindset now, I think I mentioned this in a video, where it'd be cool if, you know, you had the decor specialist, you know, the person who sells a bunch of stuff, and then right next to them is a different kind of different kind of decor specialist. They sell the same stuff, and they still have the same like requirements. Hey, you need to do this achievement or whatever, but you could just buy it with gold. Now, it's going to be kind of a lot of gold by comparison. So it's like, you know, if there's a thing that we can buy with 10 war resources, then it's going to cost, I'm making up a number, 500-600 gold. Or to like buy the equivalent. So that would give the player a choice. Do I want to throw down for that? Or do I want to just run the old content? So at least giving players the opportunity to play the way they want, cool. It would probably introduce some conversations like, oh man, that's just telling players to buy WoW tokens and blah, 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 blah. Like, that's their choice though. Yeah, if they wanted to do that. They're not forced to do it. It's not like there's a constant housing competition and in order to, and if you win, you get like fat stacks of cash or something like that. But offering the choice would be cool. Now, of course, you still need to do the achievement that initially unlocks some of these things. So it's like, you can't just throw down gold and buy like the meta achievement decor. You still have to do the meta achievement. But then after that, you know, do you need to do like do you need to run a whole bunch of God, what was it? Horrific visions to do it? Sure, if you want to do that. Or you pay whatever gold that they assign to it. I think that's fair. Everyone gets what they want. Hire me. No, don't hire me. No, man. I want to work from home, buddy. Everyone's design is to look for things, then communicate with others. No, I think I got what you were saying, though. I'd love buying it once. I'd love if buying it once unlocked a menu where you could at least buy from your inventory without having to return to the vendor. You know, I was talking about that earlier too. To me, that feels like a trap. It feels like a dark pattern of sorts. Because if it was that convenient to buy those things, then I would think that the likelihood of people mistakenly buying a whole bunch of stuff without realizing how much they need would go up by a lot. And that would end up not exactly pissing players off, but it would affect players in like this subtly negative way. But also it does ruin the whole point of going back out into the world and like doing stuff. So now, of course, as a gamer, my recommendation is to have one mule who does all the buying, and or not even so much that. Just have one person that just does the house stuff, and then you just switch. That's it. It's like loading the slow menu or something. Yeah, I know it's not, but I think a lot of people would like it. For me personally, I don't mind the mental break of needing to leave my house sometimes. Now, it gives me for me at least, it gives me a moment to think it through. How many things do I need? I'll get like this many, and blah 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 blah. I see the advantage of like, okay, let me just buy a couple, boom, boom, boom. And then I lay stuff down. Oh, I need some more. Open the menu, boom, boom, boom. You know, it's convenient. But I also feel like adding something like that is not as easy as it sounds. Dude, just add a menu. Yeah, I get it, buddy. You know, it's they just need to add a menu. You know, here, let me just pull it out of my Unreal 5 toolkit or something like that, and like, hey, there it is. Be nice. Your video in my house was really dark on your screen, but it wasn't so bad from my perspective. But I did add some more light sources to help anyone else that has a darker screen. That's always the cost whenever you have a. I don't know if your lighting settings were different, but that's kind of how it goes when something like that. Anyway, it's past 9. I think we're ready for like stuff, right? Yeah. All right, so where is the musics? Bye music. Oh shoot, I did not. Oh, man, I did not move my stuff. Crap. Okay, so we needed a few extra minutes. Actually, how much space do I have? I have, yeah, not enough space. So, sorry. Should have done this while we were chatting. Buster. So let's see. 5, 6, 7, 13. 5, 6, 7, 13. Please don't be too much stuff. So now y'all can see. Transparency. Streamer with the Mechanism. I'm familiar with Mechanism Endeavor. I can't seem to get the jump jets task to complete. I've bounced up to 7 without touching down, and yet I can't seem to get credit. Do you have any idea what am I doing incorrectly? Some folks have Some folks have said that some of the neighborhood task progression isn't tracking correctly, but it's only a visual bug. That you are actually getting points and whatever, but it's just not tracking correctly. I'm not sure though. I don't know if that happens to be task specific. Because right now I picked up consortium, not mecha stuff. Still stream my house, look way darker too. I had a few extra lights. I guess it's just different. Yeah, it's difference in monitors. Like, I could always turn up my gamma, because like what I see isn't necessarily what you guys see. I would need to turn up the gamma in the game if we want things to look like a little bit brighter for everyone. So my thing is set to default right now. It looks like, but if I wanted to bring it up or like raise the brightness or something like that, yeah, crap, I don't know what the default was. I think it was 50. I'll go with 50. Shoot. Yeah, I don't know what the defaults are. Crap. I mean, for me, it looks great. So 71 right now. Yeah, I don't want it to be that washed out, but yeah, what if I set it to 50? I'll leave it at that. Yours is at 70? Yeah, because I think 70 happens to be the default, and then for some reason, I guess I adjusted it, so maybe it's 70. Brightness default is 50? Okay. So I'll leave it like this for now. Cool. This thing should be almost done. All right, cool. Oh, I didn't move 12. You suck. Uh, 50, 50, and 1. All right. So I will trust that as the default stuff. That's the premium house. Yeah, that's the premium house. Okay. Dude, when this patch comes out, I want to see someone like try to 1-for-1 replicate this thing. You know, as best as they could. I think people can pull it off. Actually, I don't think it'd be that hard. Actually, I should just do it myself, shouldn't I? if I'm being that cocky, right? But the one thing that I haven't really tried to do yet is make curved stairs. I'm very scared of that. I am very impressed with the folks that have made like any kinds of stairs. Y'all are amazing for setting stuff like that up, especially the ones that make like those really grand ones that are just like blast you in the face. Like that was like the flavor of the month during early access. People wanted to pull off that sort of vibe. They did it, and oh man, it's been good. People still do it, but I definitely see it less these days. And I wonder why. It's very much a preference thing, but I wonder if it's like, oh, you know, the trend has moved elsewhere. You know, people like doing this instead and such. I'd say it was around the time when outdoor rooms became a thing that I saw a bit of a shift, just a bit of a shift. Like I've seen a lot of places, but I don't think I'm a great barometer of like what's trending, you know, because people come to me, you know, and you know, to show off their places. It's not like, oh well, see, I've been to all these places and here's like the stats, right? Alrighty, we are good to go. Yay! Finally, thanks for waiting. By the way, okay. All right, folks, this is Salathia's place. Rover and Founders. We are in a, you know, a bit less familiar of a spot where we do like this bit of a stair climb, and we're kind of presented with, ba-da-da. So let's see how this flow goes. we go in, here's the corner store. We have some fence work going on here, although we do have natural barriers because we have this climb. So, maybe not necessary, but it does present itself very nicely because we have like this path that takes us over, can lead us up to the, baby grand climb into the house itself. And then with the shop housing that we have here, we're also invited to like go up the stairs, and then we'll see what they had added off to the side. So as for down here though, nice dressing right up front, using a little gate here, using some fence work here, plus some greens that are also under the house. So they wanted to add like a bit more of a base, because you notice that the house is in fact raised a little bit higher. They're using like this little baby tree, poor guy, as like the base. There's one acacia that's also helping out. And I think there is this, I don't know, what is this, like a gazebo of some sort? So what are they calling this? It is called a stable. Okay. So the stable is also acting as kind of a platform to help hold up the whole house. Right on the side here, some picky stuff. Good vibes as we're going through this spot. Let's do this bit of a climb here. Boop, 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 boop. Interesting. Upside down bottles. So they would have like a very fixed shape. As if they're like manufactured bulbs or what have you. So here we have this entrance though with the Gilnean trellis. But let's check out the house itself, or at least the exterior of the house. Flanked by gnomish guards, or garden gnomish guards. I like their carpet though. That's a neat carpet. But on the side, let's go around here and okay, this I'm a bit less familiar with too. So this is from the soiree people over in Silverman. Yeah, I never noticed this one. That's pretty cool. That's cute. So let's climb on up right past the very unsafe couch, because those are like electrified, and if it rains then it might ignite the couch, and that'd be all bad. But I guess it's the goblin couch, so it might ignite on its own too. You know what I mean? So we head up, we'll go up the stairs. I'm going to kind of jog my way. We're just going to look for some personalization here. And it looks like they had added just stuff that happens to come from this pack. So it's like, hey, let's make good use of like this whole bundle that we picked up. Lay everything down. Oh, we got a Murgle that's sleeping. So it's kind of funny because, this is like, there's a whole interior, but then we're still like going inside like this top of the treehouse sort of structure, which is kind of neat. This has been popular. Folks have been putting telescopes or other things for like observation purposes. Nothing necessarily military though. I'm waiting for the day when we see like kind of the same thing, but we also see like laser cannons and all that. That'd be sick. Just like a little twist on this whole vibe. So let me double check around here. Like one chair to observe them neighbors over there. Look at him. Look at him, Jeffrey. What is it, Denise? The neighbors again. They're just leaving their crops like just right for the picking. Oh my God. Let me call Nathaniel and we'll go liberate some of that stuff. Yeah, these people are thieves. Sorry. Owners of this house, total thieves. They even stole the house, but that's how it goes. It's Warcraft. Sometimes things get kind of real over here. But let's head inside. Let's see what's going on. Oh boy, okay. Oh, there's the boss. Hey. Ooh, look at that. Okay, we're setting the mood. All right. So as soon as we go in, or as soon as we walked in, the boss was right here. They're setting the mood. They brought the lights down. And as we go in, I kind of like how this glow is set up without even like going inside necessarily, because we have this soft glow coming in from our left, illuminating the goblet plus flowers on the inside. Now, as for when we walk in, a custom door. So it's dressed with this table up top, beams on the side, also beams as like the framing, and we have this sort of like reflective-y sorts of door. eggs are hanging, but let me carefully hang up my clothes and whatnot, put down some weapons, and walk right in. And then as we walk in, we actually climbed up, boop boop, climbed up 2 levels, and hit up this platform here. Very closely, very tightly packed platforms here, and on the side, window setups. So I feel like it's a smart move using beams instead of a lot of folks. They they use like some of the farming tools so they can get like a really straight edge. But I think those are crafted or they're really expensive. So there's a big cost to that. Notice how we have the elven tables right up top, but then regular beams on the bottom to dress this window. Then we have some hostas right up top there too. So as we come in, like I said, it's like this very warm entrance. So all we have as a light source is like this right here, this little floating guy, and then like some candles in the back where this this Pandaren shelf is. But also behind it, it's green. Interesting. What kind of green is this actually? Is this just like a rug sort of thing? It looks like just rugs. Yeah, there we go. Cool choice of color there. Now I think we have no choice but to head upstairs, right? Yeah. Oh, look, AC setups. Nice. They have a little thermostat. All right, so when we first walked in here, we walked into this stairwell room. We're going to be going up at least 1 level. Check out the window work over there too. That's neat. Looks like there's nothing under these stairs, so let's make the climb up, shall we? Notice how oh, that's clean. Very clean setup by using, okay, it's clean, but also super deadly. Because we're using these Lordaeron fences and fence posts to go up. It's like, all right, steady yourself. Just hold on to the rail. No, actually, no, don't hold on to the rail. Super unsafe. But we go up the climb, back up these platforms. And, I got to say, really good work because they purposefully clip these a little bit closer so that they have a bit of a tighter, they feel a bit more flush because I know it's a big challenge when setting something like this up. So really nice. And then once again, we have like this very warm feeling, low lights that are coming right down here, one little candle, and you can see how the lights still are able to define themselves. Right back there, not too much illuminated, just a skin rug that's hanging out there. And then we go through this wide opening. In case you're wondering, the space looks pretty dark on YouTube. Not sure if it's supposed to be. Yeah, they lowered the lighting in this spot. So it is purposefully dark. It's a little bit dark for me too. So we're in this sort of transition spot. We have one little egg fountain, as I like to call it. And we're invited into like these 2 open areas to the left and right. But then we also have some closed doors. So we're just going to do our usual thing. In we go. Now things like lit up quite nicely. And that's going to be interesting. So I'm going to comment on this in a bit. So in this room of sorts, profession stuff, alchemy stuff, inscription stuff. Nice and easy. Now notice up here we have a certain kind of chandelier. I don't think this is the dark iron one. Is it? Okay, it is. No, it's a different one. So this chandelier, notice how it's the only light source in here, but it illuminates like the whole room. Okay, there's like that too, but that's a little bottle. It illuminates the whole room, and you can see some of it kind of spill out, but not really. It's not super strong. Meanwhile, you have this chandelier that's not providing like a very strong light source, which seems to be the intent here, because if the chandelier in there was too strong and if the chandelier here was too strong, then the lights would end up spilling between rooms, and that would feel weird if that were the case. So I just want to point out, good job with trying to be mindful of the lighting in this case, because in some cases it just wouldn't look right. Now I will say, like, you'd figure that something like this, it looks bright enough that it would illuminate this stuff all on its own, because this sconce right here, it feels like it's doing a lot more to brighten its space than these chandeliers are, but oh well. That's magic for you. Just gotta deal with that. Now in this spot, oh, is this like a double entrance kind of thing? No. This is just like a big sort of room because sorry, I'm just kind of peeking. Nope, it's just like a double entrance. Okay, so 2 ways in to this large, like family room sort of spot. Great use of all the space. You know, it's spacious, but it's not like, there's a lot of like empty stuff here. You know, so they filled out these couches, they added like some shelf work here, but then I want to direct myself to this grand fireplace sort of spot. And here's where all the conversing happens. What are we talking about? Why is it so dark in here, guys? Shut up. It's not that dark in here. We have lights all over the place. Why are the lights not very strong? Gosh, stop it, Jethro. So up here is a different kind of chandelier. Now, this one happens to bleed out like a lot. Funny enough, you could probably take these 2 lights out, and you won't really see like a huge difference. This one makes a little bit of difference. You can see the glow there. But for the most part, love the lighting here though. Again, because of the way that because it's dark, the lighting is doing pretty much all the work at illuminating the spot. And I like how all these colors end up dancing together. You know, we have those soft blues, we have these yellows right here, a little bit of the blues again. You know, so it's not exactly a clash. It's sort of more like just this kind of contrast and complement to each other. Cool stuff on the windows, although I don't know if that was I don't know if that was a bug that's causing the framing down there to kind of like tilt a little bit. I'm gonna guess it is because that's kind of tilted a different way, but yeah, that's nothing on them. Just blame Blizz. It's the easy thing to do these days. I want to pan back, look at the couch here. Is that a coffin? Yeah, I think that's an upside down coffin. No, actually, I'm not sure. Oh, okay. It is upside down coffin. Nice. That's actually a good use of it. I did not realize that it had a cool textured bottom to it that can be used to make a, you know, not very coffin-y looking table, but it kind of looks like a, you know, it still kind of looks like one. Nice setup though. And then over here, what have we got? So in this spot, oh, it's very purple. I like how this purple really stands out. It's flanked by these lampposts, but as we go in, we have a bit of yellow light coming in. So we sit, just enjoy a smoke, right? It's like, yo, let's not let this spill all over the house. Let me close these curtains real quick, and then we'll just like vibe in here. I really like this carve out. You know, there's a lot of work that was put into this. Think of like it's like a gazebo that was like just jammed in here, but you know, it has raised platforms being separated by these fences, along with doorways and curtains to kind of help close things off. I really like this. This is a really, really cool room. All right, so let me, how should I do this? I want to take a shot of this. So it's like, I'll go with something like that. And also I want to get like this kind of far shot of the fireplace right there. All right. Love the greens too. Looks like it's going to be kind of a theme that we're going to see throughout most of the spot. So someone just pointed out that it's actually the Night Elf walls that are doing this. Okay. That's kind of a bummer, though, you know, the fact that it kind of clips through like that, or that it, you know, it sort of distracts me, you know. I don't think I can do a hover over that either, because yeah, that's just the part of the walls. All right, so I want to go to this spot now. Cool fountain, by the way. Table, plus fountain over there to kind of, I'm sorry, table, then fountain. Right up here. I don't want to miss this bit of a detail there. But now let's go into this room. And again, this is sort of like a transition, you know, in this T shape as we go from like one room to the next. Like this fountain work too. So what do we have? How is this raised? I think we have like, oh, okay. So we have like kind of like two sets of curved tables. So we have like these white and blacks, or black and white, and then inside we have these green and whites, and that's followed by this fountain. I keep forgetting the name of this thing. The Draenei fountain, right in the middle. Yeah, it's pretty because it looks as if it's a single piece. I think that's cool. So let's head over to this room. I'm trying to make sure that I don't lose myself in the layouts, because the layout is starting to get pretty extensive. And we enter the bedroom, a kind of draconic bedroom. For actually no, this is for two folks. So in this spot, you know, Drakthir kind of person sleeps there. Night Elf kind of person sleeps there. A little bit of a separator between the two of them. These are, kind of roommates. But you do have like this shared spot, nice big fireplace to hang out in. But also they have a little bit of, just a little bit of privacy for themselves. I mean, outside you have a bit more of a common lobby, especially that kind of family style sitting spot. Yeah, this is the Caribor fountain. I'll shorthand a lot of my references to the core, so sometimes I'll throw people off. I apologize for that. So going to this other part of the T-shaped room now. Okay, this layout is getting more and more extensive. So now we're kind of directed to this sort of gallery. Things that have been collected. No, not a gallery. It is a bedroom. A very green bedroom. So we've been seeing this kind of green around a lot of the house, but I like how this all comes together. So we got like this double bed's been like smashed together. And now we have like this cool giant bed for me and like all the little Murgles and all our friends. Platonically and all that. Big old night elf rugs as the backdrop. Yeah, so I like this. This is neat. Oh, very interesting that we have like these windows right up there too. It's almost like they're windows, but they're placed there not meant to be windows. It's just like this nice decorative glow. More like a wall lamp of sorts. And again, like very liberal use of these chandeliers that offer this low light setting. But they do tend to be pretty bright. Like you make this thing big, that thing like really starts blasting at people. All right, and then right here, little walk-in closet. I gotta say, it looks a little unfinished, but I have a feeling that, yeah, their budget's full. So, poor closet. Oh no. Let's go in here. Now, here's an example of like, something that feels a lot more complete. You have just this little sitting room. One sitting room for two. Oops. Really pretty setup. Once again, we have the Night Elf rug that's being used for the backdrop behind that wall. One painting to admire. One window here. And again, it's pretty much nighttime in this spot. Lots of like little fixings, lots of personalization here. And the coolness comes from the simplicity. It's just a sitting room. There's not too much. There's not, huge functionality here. But we do just have like this great placement of stuff. We of course have like a lot of the kit bashing here with the window setup, which we've been seeing consistently throughout this house. But the other placements here, there's a lot of work that went into like setting up that flower basket, as well as some of the personalization, but nothing too intense. So this is kind of the product of practice. They're just doing it, just this practice repetition of setting up this window, this window, this window. It starts to become easier over time. Yeah, really neat. All right, was there, it looks like there is so that was one closet, and then here, bathroom? Yeah, the bathroom, of course. This is unique. They used Gilnean walls as like this sort of like stone, the stone flooring. So I kind of like how that ends up landing. Yeah. You know, for like one half draconic, not draconic, right? That was a different room. Um, I just like that color. All right. So let's head back to, if we're back in the transition room, we're going to go retreat a little bit further. Now we're back in the family. So this is a big floor we happen to be on. So let's go ahead and cross over to the other room. And we still need to explore like what's in those rooms too. Or oh, I'm sorry, in that last room over there. But we're gonna go this way first. See what we missed. Because I see a kitchen over there all of a sudden. And yeah, dude, this layout's awesome. I'm not lost in here, but I just really like how they took these large rooms and just did a lot of work with shaping these into something that feels a bit more personal. Oh, wow, that's cool. But I'm going here first because I just happened to. I really like what they did here. So notice how we have like these multiple tables that are just skinning this bathroom like that's it. It's not really spilling anywhere else. So really good technique here. I think we can kind of like see like where the hovering, where some of this happens. Not really. We can't really like see all the highlights here, which is kind of a bummer. But really great job with this sort of setup. It feels nice and even, especially because like we have the diagonals here and like the top. Yeah, really good cuts. Otherwise, the bathtub, a toilet. Oh, a different kind of toilet. Interesting. Still using the bolt seat, which is very, very safe. I've seen a lot of uses of that. You know, nothing too, you know, toilets haven't been like too intense lately. But the ones that we've been seeing have been usually mostly using the bolt seats, and it's been pretty effective. And of course, we rinse off, enjoy a little bit of greenery in here because otherwise there's no windows. And very thoughtful. Now the kitchen that we saw just earlier. Oh, wow. Ooh, that's a very pretty setup. So in this upstairs kitchen, really filled out. I guess I'm directed here to like this dining room setup really quick where we can roast and grind and enjoy all of our coffees. Very nice. But now we'll pan back here again and check out the kitchen. Lots of fences and platforms. I'm sorry, fence posts and platforms that are being used to make the checkered floor. Really nice. Now, I know like in a lot of cases, people would prefer to use like just like a black and white, you know, checkerboard tile. Seeing a texture like this, the patterning, if that's a word, it feels a little unusual. I don't know if there's like a better way to go about it. It'd be really cool if there was like this contrast, if we can get like contrasting patterns, like if you get like this white silver moon tile kind of thing, but it's black. That'd be sick, dude. That'd be awesome. So to me, it's the contrast of like the patterns that throws me off like just a little bit. But of course, we got to work with what we got at the same time. Like this is, if anything, this is feedback for Blizzard. Like, yo, we want more stuff to decorate floors with. We have a thing for Puppy, awesome, and a simple setup of Razorwind bar tables that make up the countertop. Very effective, very simple. Little display for some pie, which is covered, nice and safe. Got to keep that stuff fresh. And like a nice, easy on the eyes setup of the cabinet work. Shelf, cabinets, look like they're slightly smaller cabinets. You can see like the studs are a little bit smaller, but they float quite nicely. Plenty of other stuff to fill out this kitchen area. Big old fridge. How big? That big. Actually, that's not too big. It's just a fairly big fridge, right? But check out this Kit Bash stuffing. A lot of stuff going on here. I think we're seeing like some rugs here, some Pandoran walls that help to shape this together too. Really pretty. Really, really pretty. It has like these, what I think these are like knobs and whatnot for the burners. That works out really well. I think those are just like little rug rolls. And then one more wall there at the bottom. Yeah, but I think it's these rugs that make up the bottom surface here, right? Yeah, these doormats. Cool. You want to do a cooking show from this kitchen? So here would be the shot, right? Here's the cameraman right here. We're doing the stuff. The overhead shots. would kind of look like this. Things go into the oven, and then finally served here. And then you have like all the guests being like, "Oh my god, this is amazing! How did you do this?" Wow. All it took was a little bit of love. I know there's more house to explore, but we got here, and I think this will be like I think this is a big highlight. Oh, check this out, dude. Oh, this is pretty. Wow, dude. This looks really, really nice. Love the way, because the way the lighting is. Love the way that this reflects inside this greenhouse. So once again, we kind of like, boop, boop, boop. We do this little climb. We enter the outdoor area. Oh, wow. Very, very pretty. And is there a way out? Okay, okay, there's the door right there. Very thoughtful. So we can go outside, but oh, man. Now this is where we feast, dude. Great place for guests. And dude, it's a stunning view. Oh, man. Really, really good. The cherry blossom trees outside, they're not necessary, but they add to a little bit of like the animated, the animations, they kind of like pull you towards the outside a little bit. It also fools you too, because it's like, oh wow, cool, but then it's a window, you can't really walk out there. But just really, really pretty. And really easy too, because it's just utilizing the greenhouse here. You can see here, like we kind of start going outside, like around this spot here. Then we pan out a little bit, and you can see like how these walls, they help define that. Then the greenhouse just kind of does the rest of the work. From there, from the looks of it, we'll go outside in just a bit, but we can take a look at how the fence work is done to preserve the illusion. Because now we're going to go outside, and we have like basically just wooden fencing. Nice and simple. Nice and simple stuff. Under the trellis, we're invited outside. Oh man, this is a really stunning outside area. So we come out, climb over the curved tables around the steps, enjoy some time in the hot tub if we wanted to do that. There's no towels. We're kind of screwed. So imagine this. We do our dip, we come out, we walk out of here majestic and naked. Just enjoying these sights. Did that bring in like did that make a bad picture in your head? I don't know. Well, we'll go back across here. I just wanted to like kind of venture through, just kind of soak in the walk. Really pretty setup. Wow. This feels really natural. Yeah, just big wow. Wow. Right under here. Bit of a hangout spot. Like from every angle, this place looks great. Really, really impressive. So here's the boss and friend. Hey, so we're all hanging out, chilling, vibing. Oh, so they just want to stay safe from the weather too. Under the umbrellas, under a gazebo. It's all good. Who am I to judge, right? But just damn. And what's cool about this is it's mostly the decor that's doing the work. Like I said, like these trees, they could be swapped out for anything, and I would be just as impressed. But I do love the way that these colors dance. Like they did a really good job of this. Love that the fencing goes all the way around the yard. So now we just have like this backyard area. The way the greenhouse is set up, it's over the top, because it's like, hey, you got like this fencing here, okay, but then you have like this massive structure that's just sticking out. So if you happen to be like outside of the lot, or you're looking and you're like, well, what is that? So it feels really excessive, but at the same time, it just fits this huge granite structure for folks to like eat and rest and hang out in. And the greenhouse itself dressed up with these trellises, lots of green surrounding it. Yeah, let's head back inside. Yeah, this going through here like feels like a really cool experience. Yeah, I think every detail here has been covered. Really nice, really well lit and everything. Well done. Well done on this. No notes. Just lots of like, wow, a lot of that. All right, so we'll retreat back to the kitchen. Let's find out what doors we might have missed. Such as here, pantry stuff, pantry stuff. Nice and simple. You know, pantry areas never have to be all that expensive. They're just closets, you know, just closets. And we'll continue retreating back a bit. I didn't go around this corner here, so I think this is a new room. But there's still one door that I missed. So over here, work stuff. A lot of work stuff happening here for sure. Interesting that there's a window right there. I feel like this kind of well, maybe we'll find out. Maybe I'll try to be really nitpicky and see if that makes sense with that window there. I'm sure it does, but it just kind of throws me off just a bit. So over here, to be continued, right? I'm pretty sure this. Nope, actually, there's some. Oh boy. Okay, not to be continued. Let's see what is going on down here. We got a guard here too. All right, so we saw like this really pretty setup. We're seeing this a very excellent kit bashed house. Is there a twist? Let's find out. Yeah, there kind of is. So in here, secret stuff is happening. Oh boy, a lot of secret stuff is happening here. You know what they're making? Strawberry jam. This here is the strawberry jam factory, and they are intense. Here they take the big jam fruit, right? Jam fruit, as I call it. You drain it, and they throw all that stuff in there. And then they're going to bottle it and sell it and do cool stuff. And here are the helpers. They're asleep. You know, they help make the jam with their little hands and stuff. You know, so they get their supplies, they get the stuff together, they roll in the big jam fruit and, you know, put it there. So it's all good. Here's where they chop the jam. Oh no. Oh no. And dark portal. Oh, and there's an extra door. Oh man. Okay. So I'm gonna go through the door first. Through this door is just a closet. Okay. So everything's safe here. Everything's fine. All right. What do we get now? Boop. All right. All right. So it's just a place where, you know, they're just, you know, doing some job interview stuffs. You know, they're like, oh, you know, so let's, you know, have a seat, and they'll just ask them some simple questions about making jam and all that. I'm sure the question is like, do you want to be part of the process? Oh yeah, sure. No. Oh, dude, this dude's getting cooked. Oh no. There's always a twist, guys. There's always a twist. You got to ask yourself, how was such a pretty house made, slaves? Mm-hmm. That's yeah, that's how it is in human history. How are some of the greatest monuments in human history made in the ancient world? Slaves. What about here? Slaves. Sorry, buddies. You're either labor or you're jam. Because yo, what did they use this for? Right? Now I got to take a look. I'm gonna go back to that kitchen. I gotta go back to that kitchen real quick and see if we can solve the mystery here of what that's all about. All right. Oh my God, it's the pie. Ah, there we go. See, there's like there's 1, 2, 3 noses right there. Oh, look at that. They even like powdered them up. Oh man. I think I can see like little tiny, bits of dried blood there too. What else we got in here? Oh my God, it's their hearts. Ugh, and it's shaped like an apple. And what's in here? More noses and stuff. Oh man, this place is brutal. What other sorts of brutality is happening here? Show me. Oh my God. Barbaric. Oh, this place is seen in a whole new different light. As in, they're just gnomes. It's all right. They're just gnomes. Oh, and the wine. They're in the wine. Oh, there's like a whole rotating thing somewhere right there. It is. Oh boy. Oh. More trophies of the fallen. Gosh. So, and there they were. That pair of those ladies out there. They're just like chilling under their umbrellas in the gazebo, being like, it's cool. So now we're looking at this like, now what are they planning? I'm sure they like sit here planning like, oh, how do we cook the next batch, right? Make the next batch of jam and all that. Now this place is just creepy. Look at this. Working together, planning the next thing, and they're like, "Oh, so Jerica, what are we gonna do next?" So I don't know, Daphne. Maybe we're going to kill some gnomes. And they're like, ah, so that kind of vibe. What are their names again? Jerica and Daphne. There you go. Yeah, they definitely sound like brutal gnome slaughter people who make jam. Yeah, remember those names because I might forget. So in here, back to this cool library setup. What's in here though? Books about killing gnomes and like how to cook gnomes and and so now this whole business has been defiled, man. Oh, I am changed. Jam recipes. There you go. Research. You know what's the best temperature to make sure the meat falls right off the bone. That sort of thing. Boy, oh boy. Great library though. Nothing too intense. It's not like super filled out. There's some space for like just like, hey, let's just have this let's just have a space for hanging things, decorative stuff instead of just books. But now let's do this climb. Climb, climb, climb. Great work on the curves here. So we get up to this second floor. More booksies, lots and lots of booksies, because there's no shortage of jam creating research. And through the shroud, boop. Hmm. Oh boy. Okay. So kind of a trophy room, right? Kind of a trophy room where they can enjoy some beer and jam, right? Enjoy all their collections and things that they've set up over the many years in their career in this world. No trace of gnomes though. I'm pretty sure it's because like, why would we just hang them up? No, we're going to eat them. Are you insane? And then in here, a private theater. Oh God. with with refreshments. Oh boy. Now here's my thing. What are we watching? Right? Just what is it that we're watching? Relaxed in this private theater room. You know what they're watching? They're probably watching recaps of their own dark work. Oh boy. It's like watching episodes of Dexter or something like that. Like this, it's like super dark stuff. But boy, are they having fun. Cool theater setup though. It's a little very spacious too. Plenty of room to like kick back, but we still got a good view of everything. It's not like the people up front are taking up space. I'm sorry. It's not like they're taking up space or blocking the view or anything like that. So neat setup there. It doesn't appear that there are any secrets here. Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, they did the effect thing. So, okay. Now the question is, which one's Jerica and which one's Daphne? That's got to be Jerica. She looks like a Daphne. Jerica, Daphne, Jerica, Daphne, Jerica, Daphne. Or maybe it's ironic. Maybe that's Daphne. Nah. That let's just go with what feels natural. This is definitely Jerica. Murderers, and it's just the two of them. They're both, both watching footage of their own slaying, their own slaughtering. Would you like another slice of pie, Jerica? Oh, Daphne, I'd be delighted. Yeah, these two are monsters. But they look pretty attractive. Their transmog look dope. They look good. All right, so we're gonna retreat back. And notice how this the theater was at the top of the library. So getting this deep into the house, it really feels like it's just a theater that, they built it for guests, but it's really just for them. That's my take. Yep. That could be it too. It's like, yo, hey, little gnomes, you want to come hang out with us? Looking out like these hot elven babes, and the gnomes are like, heck yeah, dude, let's go. And then they're never seen again. Yep. If anything, it's got to be that whole twisted scene where it's like, hey, gnomes, would you like to have some pie and wine? Oh, yeah, sure. And then they find out later the truth. So that way Jerica and Daphne can look at the terror in their eyes right before, boom, they snuff the life out of them. That's how they get the rocks off and all that. Yeah, this is a insidious house. And so here we are, staring at a blank painting. Now, what are the pigments made out of? I don't know. Gnomish tears with blood and whatever. Maybe. I don't know. Have I seen anything? Or have I seen everything? I'm sorry. Because I came upstairs here and I'm not sure if I missed turns. I have. Nice. This is a great place. The outdoor area, like the construction was that was really good. Really good. I don't know what feedback I gave. I kind of forgot, but it was like, I know it was like very minimal. I talked about some window thing, but whatever. Um, what a twist with the gnome stuff though, because now this is a very dangerous, deadly place. Yeah. All right. So thanks again for showing me your place. This was awesome. Very awesome. All right. Now, how would their names be spelled? It's got to be like really weird. Jerica and Daphne. Like Daffneynie or something like that. That would be perfect. Let's do that. Dowgie is next. 37. Off we go. It's safe if you're. Yeah, no, indeed. All right. Okay, y'all got into it with the whole gnome stuff too. Sorry, I wasn't really looking at chat too much. All right. Yo, I was looking at that. Okay, that was like another 40-minute thing. Okay, we're gonna wait 6 minutes for news stuff. Awesome stuff though. I'm gonna try. I haven't been doing like a lot of like YouTube stuff on the main channel. There's not too much to talk about. I still might do a mention of like Wowhead, my commentary on that, but I'm gonna make it short. Like at first it was written to be like a whole ass video. I'm like, no, I don't like this. This doesn't feel great. But I'll probably make it a subject in the weekly as we talk about other stuff. Um, but I've been doing a lot more work on the Around Azeroth channel. Like I've just been mostly cutting videos and making sure that, you know, if I'm not too busy with like current stuff, I'm going to work ahead of time and just like I have a whole bunch of videos like ready to go. So gnome eating is a personal pastime of mine. Oh, is that right? Blood enemies. Did you not know about this? So, as a blood elf yourself, you should know that your natural enemy are them shorties. It's kind of funny because you know, outside of the very notably short races, goblins, dwarves, Vulpera, gnomes, um, the shortest long-legged race, if you can even call it that, would be blood elves. Yeah, they're little compared to many of the others. Shame. Too bad. All right. So what else? Was there any other new stuff from the likes of Blizzard and Wildhead? I don't think so. It was just like the Rufus stuff. Oh yeah, I think we're still waiting on that hotfix for the Ascendant Void Shards, right? They said later in the day today, we intend to deploy hotfixes to adjust the drop rates. So what will I end up doing? Because I like, okay, how many things do I have actually? I think I have like 4. Void something. Yeah, I got 4 of those. So I'm almost ready to make like my first one. Actually, can someone answer the question? Because I'm not sure myself. Like, once I make a void shard, does that do like the full, like how many void shards do I need? Do I just need 3 for, you know, weapon and trinkets? Or does the item level only go up by like 3 or something like that? And I gotta farm like a bajillion of these. Yeah, because I'm not sure. That's gonna dictate like just how much farming I'll be doing today, tonight, or whatever. Because that's kind of the plan. I want to do that, get a little bit more item level, because I do have like this myth thing, you know, so I'll upgrade it one more time and then I'll add the void shard thing to it. And then I'll add one to this here for the plume. And I guess the shield as well. Because I have a shield. I can use this on. Yeah. You need 5 to make you okay, so it upgrades, it gives it the full 9 item level upgrade. Cool. 20 for 4. Yeah, I can do that. I can swing that. Oh, what would I do actually? Um, what were the options for me? It will basically be. Oh, okay. I could do one more nightmare. I could do one nightmare, and you know, roll 4 bountables a day. I don't intend to do keys. That's poopy, and I don't want to. And otherwise, I'm not going to play the RNG game. Yeah. As always, see which houses will be visited on stream. Yes. I on socials, on Twitter and Blue Sky, I post the schedule of what's going to happen. Over on our Discord channel, there's a channel called Taurus Schedules that also does the thing. Did they launch 100%? I don't think so. They said later in the day, which will be today. So we'll see. Yeah, we'll see what happens in about 1 minute too. Yeah, that's gonna be my plan at least. I was trying this out. This happened to drop when we were doing a quick clear of normal Quel'Danas. I'm like, I wonder if this works. It sucks. I always have high hopes for like tank trinkets, and they've definitely felt like a letdown with this season. Mostly because I want to be able to like do some off healing with some of these trinkets, and they don't really let us do that anymore, which really sucks. I mean, I can do it, but I would sacrifice main stats, which I'm prepared to do, but yeah, they weren't that great anyway. So that ended up being like kind of poopy. All right, so let's check new stuff real quick. And nope, I'll give it another minute because like this is just like a hey, 5.4 for Mob Classic is going to come out. I'm very curious. The other week, a bunch of classic focused WoW folk, they were invited over to the Blizzard campus to look at stuff, which is pretty awesome. What did they see? I don't know. Probably update the classic. And I'm sure they wanted to do. They got some playtesting plus input. You know, similar to the Boston trip that I had, where you know they brought us over, had a day of like looking at stuff, followed up with a nice long roundtable Q&A sort of dealy, and you know that was it. Now, as for what's going to happen later on, I don't know. Like, you know, I wonder if them doing the kind of like summit sort of thing, I have a feeling we're going to see a payoff of that like sooner than later. Like, I don't think we're going to wait till BlizzCon for like a big classic announcement. Probably not. Maybe. I don't know. I'm just guessing though. I really don't like know anything. All right. Boo-boo. All right, this here is Death Doggy's place. We're over in Razorwind, and I think this is a turtle. I think we have a turtle here. Yes, we do. We have like this rendition of, oh, I forgot the name. It's not Shuzan because that's the Mount puppy from the lunar year stuff. But yeah, we have giant turtle house. Heck yeah, dude. Shenzhen's okay. Oh, that, and then I think, oh well, we enter through his butt. Okay, that's cute. But let's take a closer look at this. So we have the gazebo as the shell. I mean, we have some pretty easygoing parts to make up the composition of how this turtle looks. You know, so we have these rocks that are set up for, of course, the face and everything. These tables, some paving stones to round out the face and everything. Lots of greens up top, of course, including a canoe and an outhouse for the poop. And then, yeah, we enter through the butt because I guess, well, I guess there wasn't really much of the choice, huh? I mean, they could have went through the side, which would have been fine. Surrounding this giant turtle, though, little fixins here, some greens. We got a bar area. Here's the boss and their puppy. Hey, can I sit on that? Sure, I can. Just like this. Boom. That's how we're sitting here because, you know, that works. Yeah, that works just fine. Yay. But yeah, cool outdoor barbecue kind of bar area. Huge table for lots of guests. It's a very public spot, open air. Everyone's invited. It's a little out of the way in this part of Razorwind, but I think all the beach areas, they're you know, all of them are really far away from like the main neighborhood spots. And then here, I guess, is where like some of the construction of said turtle happened. Putting all the parts together, doing all the shaping and everything, moving rocks and what have you. This is cool. Very creative spot. All right. The fun part is like is it's instantly recognizable. The weird part is that we're going through its rear. But well, that's how it goes. All right. So, what do we have here? I mean, it's hard to tell the kind of theming. I mean, because it was the turtle, the impression that I have is we'll see some like heavy Pandaren themes. You know, immediately here, not as much. We're seeing like some tribal kinds of stuff. But let's see what happens. So when we first walk in, we have like this very decorated entrance that has these kind of this mix of troll and of different troll themes actually. So different troll tables and monuments and rugs and another table. We also have like, you know, one rugged bench to like lay our stuff down or otherwise hang out while we take off our shoes. Interesting that we have these things here. I don't know, these contraptions here, like it's I don't know, checking for weird Wi-Fi stuff. And then we can lay our boots down because we have some boots down there. That's creative. Rugs and cushions and done. That's it. Easy shaping. Easy to recognize. Huge shoes. Clearly orcish shoes. That's how I'm looking at them. Definitely not my size. But here we get a chance to lay down our weapons. Enjoy some of the vibes here and check out some collections that they've made right in the front door. And then right through here. Ooh, okay, I'm directed straight to this TV. What is going on here? This is a TV show about Deathwing smoking Murlocs. Well, no, they're playing a game. Oh, it's a game. And oh, that's adorable. Okay, that is screenshot worthy. You know how you sometimes you'll be like, okay, you know, brother and sister or two siblings, they're both playing games like together with like one controller. Oh, that's so adorbs. But check out the console. Oh, that's cool. That's really smart. This has Dreamcast vibes, by the way. So it's using this purple book along with one rug and a second rug that you can kind of see over there, and like that's it. You know, nothing too crazy. But that looks sick. Love the work on here. You know, it's using one of the flickering kinds of sconces, so you can have a bit of the animation going there. Even though it's only doing like very limited illumination here. Now, I wonder what game is it supposed to be? I don't know. I don't know if it's trying to depict like something certain, but like it just had like this huge pop to it. I couldn't help but look like straight at it. So let's look at what else we have here though. Right back here, we were just looking at a house that had its own kind of like secluded area, sort of. Like that one had like this very intense setup. That was like basically a carved out room. In this case, though, it's more like something that is like still an open area, but they just laid stuff down. So in this case, they just put a privacy screen. They just hung these curtains here, and it's achieving, what's basically the same effect. It's just the difference between not like build quality, but more like if we insert ourselves into the role play of things, this is just something that they like threw together. And it's great. This works out perfectly. And we see a little bit more of that here too. The way that now getting to the design of that of this house, we have like for example here things that are just placed here that end up walling off and otherwise creating a new space without having to create like a whole room in order to do that. So here we just have a space to work. Work and read and check out stuff. A little bit of privacy happens to be here, which I'm sure is kind of hard too, because like here are the kids, and they're like yelling and they're playing and they're having a good time, and then the person's here is like, oh my god, shut up! Can you please play a little bit more quietly? Why did I get them that game? Why didn't I just get them a little cheap puzzle game instead? God. But yeah, it's a little bit blank here, which is okay because there's not too much you can like work with here. So I think that ends up being pretty creative. And then here, fully open air, place to paint. All the supplies that are needed. No AI here. Just want to point that out. Sometimes we've seen a lot of those animated things that are like doing all the writing or whatnot for us. And I love joking about that. So it looks like I have left and right to go. Those are my choices. So let's get them moving. Right through here, we have another like a medium, I believe. Actually, I think this is a small room. It's a little hard to tell. I sometimes get thrown off here, but a very spacious room. Bar stuff is happening here. Plenty of things to drink. We've got very popular use using this trellis. Sometimes it's one, sometimes it's two that are used. In this case, it looks like it is two-ish. No, actually, that's a shelf down there. But yeah, really nice. for hanging up wine. Very popular. But what's cool and kind of interesting is that, in this corner, elven stuff. In the opposite corner, more elven stuff. But in the middle, we have this rugged table that's being used. Two of them, actually, um, that are centered here. So kind of a mix of folks that are like living here, or like a mix of preferences. All the food laid out right on. And I'm sure, yep, there's the kitchen right over there. We'll be taking a look at that in a little bit. As a bit of feedback, I would question whether or not a room like this is of the appropriate size. Like maybe there are ways to like kind of close things up by either just building some walls here to tighten up the space. Maybe that would make things feel a little bit more cozy and compact. Here, it's very open and airy, which is fine, because they also ended up filling up the walls with like these large statues of all the different Loa. So it's got a good vibe here too. I think tightening it up might be a good idea too. So, kitchen stuff now. Now, I've seen this done a couple of times, and I really appreciate it whenever they use like these kinds of drawers, open cabinets kind of things that we're just seeing here. That's always cool. We have drinks and other pantry stuff being set up. And in the kitchen itself, big old centerpiece. This is where all like the major work is happening. Really like what's happening here because we have the double curved Pandoran grill. And check it out. They roast from the bottom and the top. Oh, that's good. Usually I'll see folks that'll do a variation like this, but they'll close it off or they'll have it flip the other way around to just kind of obscure it. And they just intend to do it as like shelf space or what. Like, no. We're just going to cook it from both sides. It's hella smart. Trust. So I think that works out really well as both, like a way to broil or to just have a way to keep things warm. I think that's pretty smart. We have a pretty extensive dish rack here. All the stuff is being hung and it's ready for use. A lot of the kitchen seems to be like just prepped and ready to go, but the grill is like running. We got some big soups, some other stuff that's ready to go. I really like what they did here. They just use these, what is it? They use these lights to suspend this platform. I think that's really clean. That works out really well. And a certain illusion is being kept too, because these produce lights. You see how it lights up the bottom of this countertop here. I'm sorry, the top of this countertop here. But you also have like these grills. These open burners that are also doing it, so I don't feel like thrown off. It's like, wait, where's that coming from? It's coming from here. At least that's what we can tell people. Back here, we extend this pantry area all the way back here to as large. Oh, it's not a fridge. Okay. I thought it was going to be a refrigerator. It's not. But real quick on the side, supplies to like bring in more stuff. Wheel things in. But yes, this fridge, not fridge, or maybe it is a fridge, and I just don't know. Nope. It's a ginormous outdoor fridge. Oh my! I'm just kidding. So we come out. We're immediately outside. We do this climb. That's kind of neat. Again, I'm a little thrown off because it's like it starts off with the white platforms, and I'm like, wait a minute, where am I going? Maybe they could be like the brown wooden platforms instead. I don't know, but oh wow, oh okay, damn, this thing really opens up. Holy moly! So inside the fridge is this cool outdoor spot. Oh man, and we're not open yet, right? Because you can see the benches they're like hanging. Maybe we're just like doing some cleaning and all that. This is really challenging work because in this case they're using platforms and they wanted to achieve this curve here. I don't think there's really much of a choice on other methods we can do that aren't like super messy or really expensive on the budget. So I acknowledge the challenge here. Like this is kind of tough because you see how the clipping works here, but hey, to achieve this effect, that's how it goes. So here we just have like a drink bar. Boom. You want some shots? Cool. You want some wine? Go ahead, have at it. Have a seat. Relax. We're just opening it up. We just cleaned the place and food's ready to go. But in the meantime, enjoy yourself while you're up here. And we have this other elevation on the other side. And there's the way down. Okay, I was about to ask that. So over here, what do we have? We have. Okay, so this is like a public fishing hole of sorts. That's kind of neat. So here's where you buy like bait and all that. Sick. Some bait in the fridge and whatnot. Some other dry stuff that doesn't need to be in the fridge can go in there. This is a fantastic refrigerator, I gotta say. This is amazing. So we climb down. We climb down. Boom, boom, boom. Come down here. That's really neat. The way that this all comes together. Now maybe we can like close this off, just like use like I don't know, like I don't think walls would do it necessarily, but maybe just platforms to close it off, or if I can like walk under here, maybe we can do something fun down here. I don't know, or just like just a closet space for all we know. But as for what's out here, really fun, really festive. They used what is this thing? Like a tent sort of structure. Oh yeah, the open air tent. I barely see this being used as like just a tent, but we can hang out, have a nap. Nice. Oh, so here we go. Hot tub. Heck yeah. Boop. A little bit of privacy in this spot. Feels like a playground. I'm just like finding like these little points and I'm like gravitating myself towards. I'm like, ooh, let me sit here. We have a second grill right up here. So we had drinks on the upper platform. We had fishing stuff on the other side, but hey, we want to eat out here. Cool. Go ahead and eat out here too. And we got this nice view from this spot. So here I am, I'm cooking, right? And I can enjoy a shot like this. Very cool. Love that distance there. But let's break the illusion. Let's get a little bit closer, all right? So it feels like we're in like a certain part of the bay or whatnot. Because otherwise, like having the waves come in, that's usually more suggestive of like more like an ocean kind of thing. Here, if this is supposed to be like a river of sorts, maybe we don't need to do something like this. I mean, heck, maybe maybe it can just be like left like this, so we can have like the illusion of still water. But then not having this, I think, would kind of look sort of funny too, because there would be like no easy separation. So I think this actually works out fine. As for what's back here, back here, I think they're like getting treasure and stuff. So the Murgles are out. No, that's a shark. It's a metal shark. Oh, dude. They're done. They got no chance. How are you gonna handle a shark made of metal with a net? It's gonna cut right through that stuff. But then look at them. They're so innocent and they're so confident. Oh yeah, we're gonna get like some cool stuff, guys. But for all we know, these are like, super mithril knives and whatnot, and they'll cut through that thing like butter. So they're like, we got this, dude. We've been doing this for 40 years. We're not kids. So, oh, I'm sorry, Miss Murgles. Please carry on, right? Meanwhile, this dude just vibing. This dude's just like, yeah, whatever, dude. So he's just ripping through. Oh, man. Now, this is cool. This is a really cool spot. Okay, what's that Murgle doing over there? That Murgle is... They're playing with the sand. Oh, so this one... So between this one and the Snuffles over there surfing, like, they're not having fun. They're just chilling. Very cool. Yeah, this is a fun outdoor spot. I mean, dude, it's like a whole universe inside a refrigerator. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. All right, let me do that because you don't want to let the cool air out. Let's retreat back. All right. All right, so cool setup with the kitchen. Love the double grill. I think that's very, very smart. I believe we're retreating back from this dining area, back into the main room. You know, from the video games, study spots, and now we're going this way. And hello, Archer Lady. Big centerpiece here. No notes, just hot. Oh, I love the signage. What could this be? Hmm? Oh, whoa. Okay. Oh, wow. This is an industrial bathroom. Oh, dude, complete with immediate. Okay, we have different kinds of stall setups. Oh, dude, this is very intense. So shroud. Oh, it showers here. Wow. So, dude, how many people live here? I feel like all of a sudden, like I realized, oh, this is actually a gym, because there is like a whole bunch of bathroom setups here. It's like rule one of this house: we will not let anyone wait for the bathroom, ever. Wow. Look at that. Private stalls for urinals. Okay, that's super clean. How do they afford all this? But also, who was last here? They're like, it's like, can you wait at least? No, I can't wait. I'm like going at it, but nope. It never stops. I love my jam. I love my jam. So if the entire warband is here at once, very extensive stuff, dude. So some people, they're having their wine, they're having their coffee while they're you know, doing their excretions, whatever you want to call it. Cool stuff with the. I don't think we saw arcane toilet paper, have we? Yeah, no arcane toilet paper around here. Just like different variants of TP though. Remember back in those days when that was like the thing, the arcane toilet paper? That was like a very, very popular choice from folks. Times have changed though. We're seeing a lot of folks use actual things as TP instead of trying to play it off with our imaginations. So this is a heck of a bathroom. I mean, there might be a long line from people coming out of the freezer that want to run to the loo and everything, though. All right, so we were. Ooh, actually, we were here, right? And I ended up going to the bathroom first. So let's go this way. Into. I like the narrow hallway, by the way. But what are we going into? We are going into some bedrooms. A little bit of personalization. Hello to Snuffles. But it definitely has strong, strong hunter vibes. Rugged looks, trophies, and of course, we have the hunter signage. What is it called exactly? Unseen Path Archer's Gallery. Hunter branding, as I'll continue to call it. This next room here looks like warrior stuff. Feels like warrior stuff. Feels like Tauren or orc warrior stuff. It could be troll actually. Yeah, we see some troll branding here, but also like the general rugged look. So someone who is definitely versed with numerous weapons. No order hall stuff, but I think it kind of speaks for itself. Next one we have here, someone that probably does engineering, probably a gnome, given the bed. Probably loves coffee too, because they have their own roasting machine right in front of their bed. So here they are. They like go to bed, right? Like, all right, immediate roasting. Not even making coffee. They just roast the beans and they just pop them like it's candy. So that's intense. I feel like they have like a little spider bot pet thing there too. Maybe they feed them the coffee as well. Oh, that'd be epic, actually. And then over here, there was some signage here for like for herbalism. And so whoever happens to live here, all the evidence of them doing all that herbalist work. So overall, great job with not just including the warband, but telling like a brief identifier of like who these people are. Of course, it would be a bit too insider. I'd be very disconnected if I were to see like very specific personalization. I would make something up. I would definitely make things up. Um, but I always appreciate it when rooms are given that bit of personality that speak to who the character is, but also the kind of story or identification that the designer wants to put into that. So we came through this transition room. Here was the bathroom. There's like kind of the warband dormitory hall. We'll pass by these J trophies and into a stairwell room. That is a single story. I should probably identify that better. It's a single stairwell room. It'll take us up one floor. Before that, though, cool fountain setup. I think we have like little minimal bits of lighting that are coming from these flaming cones here. They're providing what I believe to be a little bit of illumination. But we have like a number of things happening here. We got lots of greens, of course. We have one kind of a stormwind-ish fountain, but another floating one right here. We saw this a little bit earlier in a previous visit. This one's coming from the Blood Elf faction, the Renown. So you can buy one of those if you want to have like a nice little floating planter sort of thing. Right back here, they wanted to celebrate their victory in the core duels. And this awesome lamp that they got for themselves. Like, check out what I got. Boom. I spent good time on this, picking it up. And it's very pretty. It does really have like a lot of like fine details to it. So I really appreciate the work that was done on it. So we retreat back and see again, like these little bits of personalization throughout like this whole spot. Again, it doesn't have to be, what I'm seeing here, it's not basic, but what we're seeing here is a pretty simple setup of, hey, let's fill up the walls. Let's add a little bit more to this without it being like too overbearing. So we have cacti that are like suffering inside these planters. I don't know how they're doing. I hope they're okay, but it fits. I think it fits pretty well. So we're passing by the first family portraits, a lot more troll branding. Perhaps they're fans, big fans of trolls. Oh yeah, under the steps, there's like a thing. Under the stairs, there's a chair, they said. So let's find this thing. So here we go. Here's the chair. So this happens to be under a normal stairwell with provided stairs. So let's see what they did here. Oh. Boop. Okay, so actually no, they did open things up. Okay, so that's cool. So now we have a little tiny person refuge. But who lives here? Reptar. One Reptar. So this is like the pet bar. Oh, okay. So sorry, buddy. Damn. Oh, dude, awkward. Trying to walk out of here. Okay, so they're doing their thing. So we saw some Murgles out in like the freezer as well, and they were playing video games. And then we see some Reptars here. So this is like, I don't know, this is where they live, right? Under the stairs. This is like, now I don't know if this is like their cool little refuge or if this is like some Harry Potter level, like, okay, they're like kind of like roughing it out and they're just trying to like make a living for themselves here in this part of the house. Is it a desperate time that they live in? I don't know. Is he done yet? He's not done yet. But they have a cute little bathtub and all that. Sorry, buddy. All right, so I think we just walk out of here. Very interesting. I never quite noticed that. So there is a thing under the stairs. Huh. That's kind of neat. Yeah. I almost figured that it would just be like untextured or like, kind of take us out of the universe or whatnot, but there is an actual under the stairs. Interesting. All right, so now let's make our way up. Your son showed you how to do that? That's neat. That is neat. Yeah, so once everyone's done in the freezer, they just kind of like hang on in there. That's cool. So I made it to the top of the stairwell room. Here we have like again, like these neat little displays, you know, showing stuff off. Lots of these statues. That's a lot of marl. Now, by contrast, you know, maybe we can throw, you know, any number of things up here to just to, make sure that we fill out the space. Because otherwise, you know, it did a great job of filling out everything else, and we see it reflected here too. Now here, planning room, perhaps a planning room. Yes, because here we are. Boom, we're sitting. We're perhaps, or we're playing cards, or it's like a Yu-Gi-Oh fight, dude. Yeah, dude. So here, I got my trap card, boom, lay it down, and then these dual, yeah. So even they said it. These dueling quills are fighting for dominance. Whoever whoever loses is no longer allowed in the freezer. But I want to, what, you know? Yeah. So that's my guess. You want freezer time? You gotta best me in battle. Is the name of the game here. So the intent here, I would say, is like more fun than anything. Or it's like, hey, you want to get this treasure chest and you want to get this fancy gold? You got to beat me in the field of battle. The quill dueling battle. Yeah. So let's see what is in this room here. Let me pan back over it again. Yeah, just lots of big monuments. Like that crystal just looks even bigger. And I think it's dressed. Yeah, what is that actually? This is supposed to be a... Oh, no. Oh, it's a different crystal. Ah. Didn't realize that there were two kinds. Because I was thinking, oh, it's the Drakthir crystal. But then they just kit bashed and put something over it. No, this is a single piece. I did not know this existed. That's cool. That's really cool. So let's venture into this room now. And now we've entered, ooh, not just a bedroom, but also the treasure room. So if you made it this far, you get an opportunity to get loot. Heck yeah. Any hidden loots in here? Okay, nothing crazy. But it's also a bedroom. So whoever's here is highly protective of the booty. You know, no one's gonna get in and grab my stuff that easily, even though it's just right in the front door. So it's not exactly what I call secure. Here in this spot, though, lots of elven stuff being used to act as furniture. So closets, from the closet space to the mirror. But we do have this the Zandalari bed. Outside of kit bashing, no bed is greater than that. Except for maybe the puppy bed. Because there we go. We got one set up right inside its house. Very cute setup. Went for the purple. Nice choice. But also inside here, you know, a very private study place for mostly them, maybe one other guest to like sit, relax, do some work. Over here, chill, along with some Murgles. Murgle's probably like sucking up all that. Who goes, yo, save some for me too. Yeah, very neat bedroom. And then here, bathroom. No, yes, this is the bathroom. Check it out. So, yeah, in this bathroom, we have our vanity, right? You know, we sit, we pretty ourselves up with all of our products, right? Right back here is the mirror, right? So it's like, hey, you know, how do I look? I look like a captured earth. So what do we have here? Experiments happening here. You know, anyone who dares to look at like the treasure ends up getting snatched and brought into this spot where we do some insidious experiments. Remember how we saw downstairs there was that grill? Hey, you had like at the top and bottom. It's like, yo, dude, they're grilling that boar from both sides. That's smart. But now we're seeing a different application of the same practice. And I'm like, you know what? Things are a little bit more gruesome. A little bit more, yeah, a little bit more violent than I thought. Interesting inspiration. Yeah, very efficient processing. I'll tell you that. But yeah, so imagine this like as like a missile thing, just kind of boom, just launches into their chest, and then they're just done. Meanwhile, while they're being bled out, you kneel down, you just chant some sort of thing while they're like, yeah, so fun. I'm not gonna do another thing where I backtrack and look at all the food again. Oh no, Reptar, what happened? What happened to you, buddy? He thought he was just gonna innocently have some grapes, but no, you shouldn't have left under the stairs, dude. Yeah, should have just stayed where you were, buddy. You would have been fine. Over in this spot, kind of a jail cell of sorts, but also, oh wow, there's also a climb down. Hmm. So, okay, yeah, because there's a door right there. All right. So we'll continue exploring and head down these stairs. Interesting that they did a diagonal here. So we're making our way down. Still very well lit, at least. Some supplies set up on the side. Lots of things that were thrown down there, too. And as we make our way to the bottom, we enter, like, the furnace area, where there's the boss and a coffin. And I'm going to sneak right by so they don't notice me. And let's see what they got. Plates, gears, technologies, a place to sleep. So in case they happen to be here for a while, they just need a nap and do their thing. But also manuals on how to do awful things, hammers, forges. What are they trying to build? A new fridge. I don't know. Well, right through here. Oh, we're still going. Now we're processing. Oh, Jesus. I think they're still learning the process because things are a little bit messy here. But what are we grinding down? We're grinding down rugs. And what comes out? More rugs. Or maybe it's just meant to be like meats. So we're making sausage. Hey, that's it. We're just making sausage here. It's all good. Yeah. I don't see anything wrong here. We saw some chemicals and whatnot, and yeah, that's how I'm looking at it. Sausage. So here is is that a person? Is this meant to be a mushroom person? I think this is meant to be a mushroom person. Oh man. So here they are, helpless, verge of death. Only just plainly clothed. They've had nothing. They lived such a rough life, and unfortunately, their end is being met, and then they will end up on a pizza. So here's another one. Okay, okay. I'm greatly amused how this has become like humanized. Yeah. So this is now the hopeless mushroom. Sorry. From Mr. Snuffles and Reptar to Sassy Dragon. This is hopeless mushroom. Sorry, hopeless mushroom. You're just having it bad. Get ready, buddy. Because you're going to get roasted and processed and put into a pizza. So yeah, at first I opened this door and I'm like, oh, are we going into another fridge? Nope, just the furnace. Just the furnace. And then here we watch, actually. Yeah, we're watching it all go on. While we tell this hopeless mushroom, oh, you're next, buddy. And so they're screaming in terror while this dude is getting chopped up. Oh man, this place is dark. We have some very dark visits today. And then right through, once we're done processing, you get wheeled out through the garage. Out we go. There goes one giant puppy. Let's go, buddy. Wow, he's working it. And then here, so we come out. And then down these stairs. Dude, that's cruel. No. Puppy goes this way. This is the road, right? So this takes him out. So he's going off to the markets to sell pizza ingredients. Oh, that was a hangman news. Oh, so no one's sitting there. Okay, so everyone's just having a bad time. Got it. But out here, we climb down, and I expect to see a pizza somewhere around here, dude. Oh, that's kind of cool. Seeing the giant head being sunk in as this sort of like altar kind of thing. That's neat. Oh, we go around, and these are small. So this is a Volpira-sized marketplace and outdoor stuff. Interesting. So unlike the freezer, this feels like a pretty exclusive spot. Oh, they even use Jack and Jill as like horses and stuff. That's neat. And then they have like little crates to act as their stable. That's adorable. This I find very inventive too. By taking this keg and then turning it into like a sort of house. That's very smart. I dig that. Very clever. Big tree house with the acacia. Another kind of house that's using the dog house. Now that they can buy like multiples. Like here's another one. Yeah, see. Told y'all. We're gonna see more uses of these once people start buying extras. And then one more house right here. Very creative. Very, very creative use out here. Oh, see, there's the boss doing the thing. Yeah, because what's down here? I think there was like some more stuff that was that's the Kraken. So they didn't want to mess around over in the other beach area / freezer. But here is the Kraken. Now maybe we can obscure this somehow. I don't know. Any number of things can do. What a lot of folks do, they'll take the fireplace, they'll just kind of flip it, they'll tilt it back, so that way it has that whole feeling of like the Kraken like just kind of crawling out of something. But then they'll obscure the rest of the fireplace. Sometimes that works. Well, yeah, pretty darn neat. All right, so we're going to retreat back and then see if there are any turns I missed. So we're going up here. Very windy stuff. I like what happened here. So we came from a bedroom, and I think there is a bit more to explore. Because, yeah, this ended up being a very, very big detour. Because now we're seeing all this, and then back to the bedroom. Cool. And then we're back here. This is like the quill dueling room. Actually, I think we've seen everything. Was there anything that I missed? I know there's that secret room. I think we found that. That was everything. Okay, awesome. Yeah, no, this is a great start. Just keep building, keep experimenting. Some of these things were very well thought out. Very fun with the whole double grill thing. And then connecting it to like that kind of tortury room was fun too. But yes, thank you so much for letting us look at your place. All right. So this time, nothing else to wait for. We can kind of move right along. I'm just going to step away for just a moment as we head over. Alrighty. Love the way they did the entrance to the... No, that was very good. Garage, climb, overhead shot. And the cool thing was that you had the whole lead up into, for the wagon to lead into a new spot. Everyone else gets to hang out in that kind of like festive picnicky area. Sorry about the turtle butt. I mean, it could have been on the side, but I think it's fine the way that it ended up landing. It just turns out to be a funny comment. All right, so there are some pretty long notes here. Let me take a look at this. It is a cross-faction guild hall, so I guess being eclectic is the main feature, but I like the pool. There are stools so you can collect them and go in the water. There's secret passages, and then, okay, cool. I hope okay, there are a number of things, actually. I might miss something, so I might have to backtrack a little bit, but I'll do my best and find everything. Oh boy. All right. All right, this is Crafty Luna's place. We're over at Razorwind, and we have like this very intense, but also pretty dressed up looking Orgrimmar hut. Or Orcish hut. I keep mixing that up. But let's take a look at what's going on. So lots of greens immediately that are surrounding the spot. So it doesn't feel like quite as intimidating as it could be. We're also invited to do some climbs up there. But also, they just kind of redid some of the shaping here. Because normally, like, the Orgrimmar stuff is just, like, big and expansive. But then they also added, like, some big structures here. So let's start... Well, let's start at the bottom. I want to do a quick lap around the spot and take a look. So lots and lots of greens being set up. And another climb that's up here too. So behind it, we have like this nice porch set up. Right inside here, we climb a platform. No need for anything crazy. We're invited to sit, relax, have a couple drinks and whatnot. Enjoy the warmth of whatever's cooking in that stove. And we talk smack about who did bad deeps. Right back here, I'm pretty sure this is still part of the lot, but they had set up a sort of like mini dock area, which I think is pretty darn cool. We do like this little bit of a climb. I'm trying to climb. Oh no, I think I failed the walk check. Boop. So we do this climb over to here on top of the Murloc stuff. Do our fishing. Very neat. I tend to do like a walk when I do these visits, and so like sometimes there's like these walk checks. It's like, oh man, sometimes like the clipping or whatnot just doesn't quite work right, but oh well. Whether people want to do something about that or not, totally up to them. I do like how they enclosed this entire spot, made it entirely something different, and even up top, actually we'll go there right now, they added even more. So we have this upper level for like drinks, relaxing, vibing, taking a look at how they're doing with the fishing downstairs and all that, and admiring some of the naturey stuff. Maybe even like stare back at the person who's peeping at us from that tower. Weirdo. God. So let's make our way down. Boop, 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 boop. You go past that little cutout area. More greens on the side, neighbors to stare at, right? And then we'll climb up these other areas real quick. Boop, 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 boop. And we climb up a upside down tree into here, into the wagon. And inside here, just one place to sleep, nap, do their own thing. So if there's any guests that are like either being belligerent or desperate times, and you just need to make space for some folks, you can sleep outside. There's a roof over your head. That's the best I can offer. So be grateful. But then finally we have like this one little spot here for some chatting and another great view. So this place happens to have like some really nice, viewing points when you're at this altitude. Waterfalls back there, neighbors, and the main neighborhood stuff is right over there too. Nice. And I think we're ready to go inside. I just want to point out, once we do this climb, we have these different kinds of door setups. Just big old tables and mugs right in front. One place to sit right over here. Oh, and there too. Nice. Let's head on inside. So once again, it's a cross-faction guild hall. So I expect to see like lots of themes. We'll see what else is going on. I see lots of Lots of quills automatically going. And what I'm seeing first here is it's not, I'm seeing less color, which is not bad. I'm just pointing out that, you know, we have like this very set brown color, but because it's a whole cross faction thing, I expect to maybe see like little bursts of like character or personality. You know, we're coming in, and I kind of expect to see something that feels quite neutral, right? So we have like some blues here. We have some, you know, we have like this obviously split through the factions, plus like some Murgles and whatnot that are hanging out. So here's like their mascot. You know, here's red Murgle on this side, blue Murgle on that side, and the reason why they're so far apart from each other is because they hate each other. Everyone here gets along. That's my made up story. Everyone here gets along except for the mascots. These mascots are out for blood. For them, the faction war is alive and well. Like, no, F the Alliance, F the Horde, man, you guys suck. And everyone's just kind of like walking by while these two are, they're just like cat fighting and all that. So that is kind of fun. But what I do like here, we have this grand climb. Boom, 1 level, 2 levels, 3 levels as we make our way up, set up with just beams and platforms, maybe. Yeah, platforms up here, beams make our way up. But notice here the use of crates, the use of the sides or the tops of crates. I like it. It looks very clean with the way that this is set up. You can walk under it. You can view things below it. It's nice and, you know, very nice and tidy. But what do we have here functionally? Functionally, we have this kind of like office setup. So this whole stairwell room is one part entrance and opening, but also a place to like, okay, it's more like a business. This is like Warband Inc. You know, so folks are coming in, you shuffle into like your side, you deposit things that that you had picked up, and you share with your warband. That's the kind of story that I'm going to tell myself here. Now, as for anything possibly back here, I don't know. Now we know. Nothing. All right, so no secrets back there. But no, I love this climb. This has a, I don't know, it has like kind of a big log cabin kind of feel to it. Yeah. Great stuff with the climb. And then we'll, you know, we go into here, which I'm just peeking really quick. Yeah. Okay, so this appears to be kind of a dead end ish. So we'll stick here for a bit. But here's where feels like most everyone gathers. Everyone who's part of this warband. So here's the boss. Boom. It's got to be the boss. Next to the boss, my stuff. Look at what we've collected, guys. After going through everything, here's the loot. So you kind of distribute it amongst the team. So here's basically kind of like the war bank. The war bank in the visual form. And here's where we trade stuff to like all the different alts and everything. But right through here, place to like sit, study. Lots of things here. And then some. So we'll explore there in just a bit. But back to here then. Love this fireplace. Using the Eye of Acris as like just kind of, see what I like about this. Like I don't think there's any lighting change. I think it's all like just standard lighting. But the way this kind of all lands together feels supernatural. As in very natural, not otherworldly, natural, you know what I mean? Whatever. But yeah, I like the way that this comes together. It looks very neat. Digging this shot. And actually I want to take a thing of this thing too, because that looks sick. Love the pile of stuff. Nothing too crazy or extensive. But yeah, big celebration of like everybody. Everyone's here. But now, let's see what happens when we creep behind this spot here. Also, there are two options actually. Hold on. So there was that, and then there is this way, and now we see something else. Interesting. So I'm gonna go left, as usual. Let's see what we get to. So in this spot, you know, signs of less use happening here. One shroud that takes me that way, and then here I wind around. Okay, so same difference. So in this spot, weapon racks and everything, things to lay down. But it also leads into whatever is behind that curtain. We've been seeing pretty dark places lately. So what do we get here? Oh, something totally different. This feels like this kind of like a retail-y entrance, or kind of like the hidden vaults. So here's the person who's in charge of it. It's like, yes, what do you need? You know, well, I need like I need, you know, 10 bear asses. Do you need the grays or the commons? I need the common bear asses. Up here you go. And then so this person, the quartermaster, will get all their stuff, the hidden stuff. But it's also back here, knowledge. Like, because check out all these bookcases. All these are filled. All these are customized. These are not secret shelves that don't do anything. So lots of personalization here. Yeah, love this spot. Really, really good. So we enter a bigger part of the library, just kind of expands a little bit. So now we have a kind of resty spot, place to hang out. Love the colors here, and also like it's some interesting choices too, because like I could say, hey, this Arakoa table kind of stands out, but it's also like, yo, this is a warband house. Most everything here is like loot. Most everything here is stuff that's been collected or pillaged or crafted or whatnot. So seeing one-offs here and there, that's the immediate story, at least when I get into the vibe of, oh, we're visiting a warband house, because we're looking at kind of a celebration of not just like whatever characters that are being depicted here, but the person who is behind this. Like, you know, let's take a look at their World of Warcraft career. And now we're going to go outside. Okay. So back here, cool hallway setup, very soft glows, plus my favorite flowers. As we go through like this stone path and make our way out. So it has that vibe of, you know, being carved out and everything. From this POV, loving the illusion. You know, things are like huge here. Back here, not so much of an illusion, but that's okay. I'll just point that out. But my focus is like here. Lots of cool filled out decor. And there's going to be stuff above us, but I also see something behind here. And we have like, ooh, we have this whole hidden supply room for all sorts of gardeny kinds of things. I mean, okay, the green goop in the middle, who knows what that's for? But it almost looks like, you know, like here were like some things that were growing. We picked that stuff off, dropped it in here, and now we're gonna do magical stuff. Like what? I don't know. We're gonna take these bottles that we got from promos, and we're gonna make some soda. I don't know. But fun spot. Now the thing is, it's like, okay, has it been recently visited? Because lots of cobwebs here to give signs of underuse. But at the same time, you know, probably not. Yeah, nice hidden area back there though. But now we are invited to climb up these void steps. 1, 2, and we keep going. Looks like each one has its own little void candle to help us out. Unfortunately, it doesn't produce any lighting at all. I wish it did. You know, I'd like to have like some sort of like, you know, a blue light that's a bit dimmer than what we usually see from like Night Elf decor, or like these filigree lights. But here we are. We get to the top of the spots. Void stuff. It's being thematic wise, it's being contrasted by these filigree lights, but they just happen to, the way I'm looking at this, sorry, I'm trying to get this angle. The way I'm looking at this, it just complements the spot instead. So really neat. Now let me zoom out so I can get like a nice big shot of this here. It almost reminds me of what's that Pokemon called? Onyx. Yeah, kind of reminds me of that because it's basically just a big old like dragon stone dragon worm thing, and it just kind of reminds me of that with that shaping. Why they be cultivating spiders for ingredients? That'd be a good idea. Maybe it's the spiders that live here, right? Surprise, you know. All right, so I think they pointed out here that the secret passage wasn't really like a hidden passage, it's just kind of like an alternate way through. But we're here, so we'll kind of make our way through here with the navigation and all. So we're right now we're upstairs, and we're going back into what might be close to a main hall. But first, we have what is this? This uh, I don't know what this is actually. These are rugs, upside down rugs, maybe? They are upside down rugs. There they are. Nice. Because I know that these were like pretty thick objects. But great use of these. Using these as straight floors. You know, sometimes people might be a bit thrown off because there's otherwise like no real texture to something like this. But like just getting the colors, oh, it looks neat. It looks neat. Like it hits the vibe really strong, but not too strong because they could have used silver moon walls for something like this. I mean, they have it for the doorway and everything. Um, but personally, I feel like silver moon walls are a bit much. So having this contrast of like, you know, these deep reds along with the white walls, I think that pulls off the vibe of like the whole like museum vibe really well up here. Yeah, so I like this a lot. And you notice how these have like a their own little platforms and whatnot. Even the table. Hey. All right, so that is a climb. How do I want to do this though? I think we'll have to stay up here and we'll like figure things out. But yeah, very bright room. You can see like how many different kinds of chandeliers are up. So there's no escaping the light here. Now right through here, now instead of having the rugs, you know, make the deep red, they let the texture stick. Maybe because the pattern happens to work out because you just have like these two rugs that extend all the way across, and we'll see what's going on in that room over there. But first, we come in, and then to our immediate left, bed. Boop, in we go, right? So here's kind of the view that we have. You know, a bit of privacy back there for anyone who happens to be walking in. Otherwise, places for us to sit, perhaps have a guest or so. One place to kick up our feet, very nice. Out here, okay, I dig what's going on here. So this looks like, so this is the night well, the void well. There we go. Void well is happening out here. It feels more intense than normal though. Like that feels very fast. But you know, here it is. But again, somehow it feels faster than normal. And I find that kind of cool and maybe a little peculiar. Yeah, so I wonder what's making it go faster than normal. Or maybe I'm just tripping. Yeah. All right, so this is being dressed with these three trellises. So it's a little hard to see outside, which is kind of unfortunate. It'd be nice to have like thinner kinds of frames, but you know, players are working with what they've got. But back here, bathroom setup. Oh, wow. Ooh, this is gaudy. Okay, I like this shelf work. It's simple, but oh, it's really effective looking. So I want to get a good shot, like boom, right there. Yeah, I love this shot. It's so simple, but it's so clean. This is really, really clean. Draconic tables that are acting as drawers. There's no handles, but that's unnecessary. I think that would be kind of distracting actually. And then we have like these the newer kinds of rugs that were dyed, because I heard that that more recently they can be dyed to match the colors, and now we have this look. Neat. Really, really cool table. Vanity set up here, and then we enter the bathroom. I'm sorry, the bathtub right in this spot. Here we go. Boom. We get our soak on. Nice and private. Bit of a shroud instead of a door, so we can at least let like some of the steam out and all. Then we get dressed and we're good to go. Yeah. Sometimes it's the little things, and this thing just like really stands out for me in a good way. I like this. Very, very good table. All right, so let's retreat back. Yeah, loving the work that's happening here. Good colors. Very, very good colors. So we're back in the kind of museum-ish hallway. And I believe I now need to head downstairs. So let's make sure that we got all our bearings. Interesting that, and I think there's not much helping this, that this area is like opened up. I don't know if using like a triangular thing would help here, because I think there would be like a lot of clipping that might happen, but it might, yeah, that'd be really iffy, because I can see here like the gaps that would cause like problems and issues and stuff. But I guess it's a little weird that I'm like, oh no, I fell through, and then now I'm like here. So that to me is like a little bit odd. But yeah, we're starting off here though, and we're making our way down proper. Let's get to the bottom of the stairs. Boop. So now we're at this spot, and now we have quite a few options. Doors on either side. We have a room back there. One more door going that way. We're going here. And we have suddenly bathtub. Heck yeah. Ooh, this is tight. Very, very tight. You know, some places they want to have like a, hey, I want to have like a, it's like a, 3-bedroom, 4.5 bath or something like that. No. We can't have no half baths or no half bathrooms. We got to cram everything in like one spot. It's a little cramped, I got to say. Because like here I am, I fit technically. So, that kind of works out, but I would say just a little bit cramped. Going around here. And I noticed like, okay, interesting that they did not opt to use like a actual doorway, maybe because it just wouldn't clip right, something like that. But that's a little interesting. We go through here. Some supplies are being set, and now it feels like we're in the kind of like warband dormitory. So this is the horde side, if I got my orientation right. And so we'll see what is we have. Oh wow. So I was commenting earlier about like personalized warband rooms, and this one is definitely screaming it. Strong themes with the rugged stuff. They're like I'm gonna put a big old torch or whatnot like right on top of my nightstand. It's all good. But yeah, strong Torn vibes here. Yeah, really impressive setup with like the different backdrops and curtains and everything. Turn to the hallway, and then the Coltern theme. Huh. Okay. So maybe in this case like it's just a mix of sides. And then on the other side, we'll just see a different set of rooms altogether. But yeah, basically, when it comes to setting up racial sorts of themes, like we're getting the strong race theme, not so much class. Some folks, they like to try and do both if they can get away with it. Other times, it's like, okay, there's like too much room. Obviously, there's just too much budget that I'd be using if I wanted to make a strong differentiation between both race and class. But I'd say one easy solution to that would be like just the banners. And I think we've seen them in a previous room. Maybe having another selection of that would help for setting up that sort of branding. But otherwise, racial themes here are very, very strong. We have our coffin for a bed that's on top of what looks like a Pandoran bell, I think. Let me see if I guessed that right. Yeah, on top of the bill. So there it is. It's like upside down, but they wanted to make this cool platform. And, this, like having a piece like this is much more interesting than, um, say, just a regular platform or whatnot. So very fun setup there. So right on this end, strong Pandoran vibes. So this kind of proof positive that, at a glance, we can tell certain things, and that works out, you know. Sometimes it's a choice on whether or not we want to like have also a strong representation of class, or for some like that's more important. Yeah, never mind the race, not a big deal. So I think we're going this way now. I think of a class as your job, and at home you don't want to think of work. That's a good point. Some people will see it as like an identity sort of thing. Now they did manage to also cram like the big old Zandalari bed in here. I think it's been smalled up just a little bit. Not too much, but just enough that it's, not going to take up too much of the room that you can at least open the door all the way. But otherwise, you can see how cramped things get because of just troll stuff is just big, you know? Imagine trying to fit like that giant head in here. Is it here? Actually, no, it's not here. But yeah, imagine that trying to fit that sort of guy in here. But at the same time, like troll stuff, it just does such a great job of being, both tribal, but also so bombastic. It's so like flamboyant with how much they make themselves like just feel huge. Here we have some strong goblin vibes all of a sudden. Now here's something where it's like, okay, goblin or engineer, maybe both. But to me, this mostly speaks to how there is still kind of a lack of racial housing. So I'd love to see more from like goblins and well, just everybody. And then Dark Portal. Hmm. We've been having interesting luck with going through like secret portals and whatnot lately. So let's see what this takes us. We're going to the beach. No, we're going to the pool. Yeah, nice. So we hit the pool. Awesome. Dude, check out the beach ball. Oh, that's sick. This is work. So what do we have here exactly? We have a bunch of cushions. We have that's a stool for real. I'm saying they did not have to do the stool. They did the stool, and that's really sick. Now, as for these pieces, though, I'm not too sure what these are. Okay. They are cushions. They're just like really big. But the way that they're shaped is very, very good. I mean, the clipping that's one thing, but just like the overall shape, it doesn't feel like lopsided or anything. Very good. That's very, very good. Yeah, great job on that beach ball. And otherwise, I got Hawaii vibes all of a sudden because this is very familiar to me. Like, so here I am. So I'm on this side. There's my wife. We both have like books on us, and we're just like chilling here, right? There's a pool right in front of us. Beyond that is the ocean and like a lower level of the resort area. Oh man, it'd be cool to go back. I know she could use the vacation too. So double uh we got double seating. Surrounding the area though, jungly stuff. So we've entered like this whole tropical spot. Disconnected from the house itself. We portaled our way into like something else entirely different. And here we are, like just in the cuts in this sort of like private pool area. That's sick. No snacks, no? No snacks. It's all good. They could just oh actually no, we have stuff here. Refreshments, bar stuff. Awesome. They thought of everything. Well done. Well done. All right. Your friend asked you to put it in there so she could sit there. I think you delivered. All right. So we're going to retreat back from this room So that was kind of like one dorm area at least. Oh, mail stuff. Oh, check that out. How thoughtful that they have a mailbox for each of the warband members in their apartment. So we're going to see what's on the other end. Actually, we're going to go through here first. This might be a one room spot. So it feels like this is where professions are happening. We're working in this spot. So anyone who's like upstairs or whatnot are hearing the echoes and whatnot of the work happening here. AI is doing a terrible job as always because it's AI, but it's doing its thing. We have our paint swatches and all. Some stuff, yeah, it's spilling some paint too. Come on. Otherwise, we have lots of design happen. Oh, okay, very cool. We have a not sewing machine, but very cool representation of tailoring up here. We have our threads up here. We have some work happening right down there. We have some materials being set up for cloth making. So I imagine they're really big on tailoring. And even other stuff too. We got like pottery going on here as well. So here's a big old pile of doo-doo dough. Sorry. I look at it and I'm like, it looks like poop. But I'm sure it's clay, you know. We're doing stuff, we're manipulating to like something awesome, like pots and bowls and whatnot. Here's the kiln to like cook all that stuff, complete with its own like pizza pie handle looking guy to bring stuff in, take it out. But yeah, it looks like poop. Sorry. It's just what I'm very immature, so that's kind of how that goes. Let's back up and see what's on the other wing of this place. Ooh, so very different vibe here. So we saw some industrial profession stuff happening here, but now we're going outside. We're seeing some processing of lots of greens. We're walking on greens. Super bright in here, by the way. A lot of that glow is coming from these windows here, but we can look outside a little bit. Gilnean walls are flanking the side. Plants are coming along. They're not fully grown yet, but hey, things are moving. And then we'll come outside past these trellises over this kind of lake. Oh, that's cool. Oh, neat setup. Yeah, so what are those walls? What's this right? Oh, a fountain setup. Smart. Smart. So they're using this fountain setup, not the bottom, but like the top here, as the top of like this whole super great kind of thing. The rest of it is down there doing its own thing, but then you probably have other fountains that are creating the animations that make the water come out from under this bridge. Very smart. A bunch of paving stones help to line this sort of like river that we're crossing over. And otherwise, here, I'm going to zoom out right now. Yeah, you can see how the walls surround the entire spot, which are pretty cheap, by the way. You know, it's not so bad. But as we come down here again, now we get to enjoy this park area. Couple of options. We have a hammock if we want to like chill and vibe and sleep, take a quick nap. Want to be a bit more social, we have our picnic area here, as well as the gazebo, place for folks to like sit, do their own thing. Yeah, really pretty. So let me actually just kind of like chill here, admire some of the views. So there's also an opportunity to just kind of like listen to the water flowing, or if you want to just like stand out here and chill, that's cool too. Yeah, I like how this all comes together because we have like this cool transition that takes us all the way inside, and it has that, you know, continues that feel of the illusion of, okay, like, you know, we're outside starting at the moment that we walk on top of this, but the outside actually doesn't really begin until right here. So good illusion work. Yeah, nice, very nice. All right, so we'll retreat back. We're back here in this room, and we can start making our way backwards again. going across all these framework tables, and we've entered the big old cafeteria. Oh boy, dude, how many people live here? Oh, there's a lot. There's a lot of seats, right? 24 people can sit here, just in that spot. More folks can like gather around, sit over there. We have this separation here between these big Pandoran shelves to take us from one side, or from one side to another. A lot of the table work that's here that are lining the walls and everything. And then on the other side, so check out the, okay, so what we have here, hold on. What we have here are two kinds of doorways. They're just kind of like flipped upside down, and that helps to frame these windows, or these open windows. Now, it kind of sucks that we have like these clips here, but we can kind of play it off as just like, it's part of the house. It's no big deal. Just ignore it, whatever. I don't quite know what would fit well here. I mean, I think some people have tried different variants. Some folks have tried using like big beams to frame, to like hide these clips and otherwise try to make a clean look to it. There are a number of things that can be tried here, but that's a lot of experimenting. And at least as is, it looks fine. But is it fine? Or do we want to like achieve something better? Because if you can, and don't worry, we'll take a look at the rest of this stuff in a bit. If you can try to make it as such to where like a beam or some other similar object can like sit between here, and you only needed to use one, that could be a cool achievement if it could be pulled off, right? So I know it's hard to do though. So let's go into this kitchen area, because if you're gonna have this many people, I kind of feel like the kitchen ain't enough. Like okay, we're gonna prepare some stuff. Like we got pizza and all that. Heck yeah. I mean, let's take a close look at this, because there's a lot that's going in here. We got little tiny, not tiny, but we got little cushions, and these leaves are from somewhere. This is from a hosta. Smart. Very smart. So the hosta is just barely coming through like that to make the clever top of the pizza. Very good. Now, as for this looks like a cushion. Yeah, it's a stool that's being used as that. So I'm not going to sit on that, but that's how we get kind of that cheese texture right there. Good job with that. Very, very good job with that. Here you have like this kit bashed stove, and what is this comprised of? I'm not sure what the surface is here. The very familiar doormats. I almost missed that. I did miss that. That's being used as the surface. Gears as the top surface, or as the grill. Then more right at the bottom, including the trellis for the big meats. Nice. And otherwise, we got like these prep counters, included shelving, handles for these bar tables. Dishes are being done, coffee is being prepped, grounds are being done. And then we'll take another look at this cake stuff. So how are they doing these? So here we have what looks like just like a rug that is between one, maybe two cushions. It looks like two actually. And that's being used as like a big old cake, little cookies, a square kind of cake, like a wedding cake. Wait, someone got married in the warband? Nice. Good stuff. I just noticed here we have like the venting happening here, using not just, so they added a little bit more, not just the piping here, but they also added this upside down fence post that turns out to be a really cool shape. I like the way this all comes together. It's hecka clean. You can see here you have like the bar shelf again that's being used as like the overhead stuff, but it's like right between the base here and then the topper. You see a little bit of clip, but it's not so bad. I like that. I like how it all comes together. Feels very clean. All right, so let's scooch over here. We have some more shelf work there. Those are just crates being used to suspend that product. And then we have a single spot for two to enjoy some pie. Regular pie. It's not made of body parts or humanoids or anything. It's just pie, right? Right. It's kind of a joke we had earlier, but don't worry about it. We're fine. So let's get back on the firewood tables, and we're starting to get back to the main room. I think we made it, right? But I think there might have been a bit more to explore because I went to like one side, but not the other. Maybe. We'll find out in like just a bit. Yeah, because I think what was up here was yeah, that's right. This was like kind of like the big meeting spot. All right. So so that was everything? Cool. This all came together really nicely. It was kind of fun because we took like this whole backwards path and then we made our way backwards. Um, but it worked out. Got to see everything. And everything was great. Very, very nice place. So thank you so much for inviting us over to take a look at your place. Yeah, love that crate work over there. Oh, that's a lot because like here's like here's one crate, right? And then here's another crate. It's not like they managed to like just use one. So yeah, good job with that. All right. All right, Thorchus is next. And 6. Hecka, you must be from the Bay Area? Yep. Yes, I am. Hella Bay, dude. Hella Bay. Many moons ago, I remember I was watching like this preview or this the Shake It Off video from Taylor Swift. And I was like watching, I was like, all right, cool, new video. So I watched it. And then when she got to the part with the bridge and something with the hella good hair, I was like, represent girl, yeah. So that was a nice nod. Feel me? All right. We still have 2 more places. It's already 11:30, and yeah, sure enough, by adding like even a little bit of like the review stuff and feedback, it's definitely adding more time to these visits. I'm almost wondering to myself, should I bring it down from 15 to 12? But I don't think I'll do that. I think I'll just live with just having a longer thing. So what the hell is that? Dude, for what? What is that? Dude, I didn't see this before. Oh, let me double check if this is like this is the right place, right? Thora Chas, View Houses, number 6, right? Nope, that's it. Okay. Maybe they just did a brand new thing between the vetting and all that. Oh crap. All right, folks, this is Thorchus's place. Rover in Monster World. This is like it's like a Triceratops chia pet. Something like that. That's dope, dude. Check it out. So we got like the horned beak right up front. The shapiest, so there's like the house and everything, but whatever, who cares about the house? Now we're looking at this. Dude, look at this unit. Oh man. That's sick. That's sick. You know what else is very cool? Is that we have like the two-toned look to it. So here's the top of the guy, right? Complete with its whole back shell kind of thing. No spikes, unfortunately, but well, no one's perfect. But then the bottom here, you notice that it's using the duskwood greens. Familiar greens up top, right? They kind of have the same shape and texture. Okay, not really, but you know, it's kind of similar, but it's just creating that two-tone look. That's neat. That's very neat. So like here's the soft underbelly and everything. But yeah, the beaks and or yeah, the beaks and tongue and all that's very sick. Really sick. Triceratops on. Oh, they don't. Oh, it's Stegosaurus that has the spikes. That's right. That's right. Yeah, I'm not great with my dinosaurs. Those romping, stomping dinosaurs. This is really sick though. That's neat. So the note points out that the exterior has been heavily changed. Yeah, no kidding. Um, because I've seen this is a revisit, or I've seen this place before. It was from a pretty long time ago, from what I think I was looking at. But let's see what we got. All right. So as far as I know, this is gonna feel like a new visit, um, and I'll treat it as such because, yeah, very unfamiliar. We have like extensive hallways to go through though. So we come in, and there is nothing left to the imagination. Like, nope, just ignore that. So I'll focus on this area here, okay? Sure thing, buddy. So we come in and we are kind of outside. We're in what feels like this, it's a house, but it also feels like an immediate river too, where everything is built on top of water, which is pretty darn crazy. We have like water waves and everything coming from like these fountains. Lots of fountain work happening here. We're crossing from spot to spot, whether it's over bridges, rock beds, stepping stones. But we do have like these little bits of illumination here. Nothing crazy, but we do have illumination that's all around the spot. So it looks like we're invited to go either to the right. That I'm not gonna go there yet, but actually that looks like a long path too. Oh boy. Now, one little thing to point out is maybe it just depended on when they set this house up. They could probably at least save some budget if they switched from these kinds of rugs to the larger razor wind fountain. It's hard to like get all this clipping right. I totally get that, how that could be a challenge, but depending on how much budget they wanted to save on, because this is like a level, I think like an 8 or 7. No, not 8 or 7. I think it's a level 7 house, something like that. 3,500 is the budget. So I forget what the exact numbers are, but they'd be able to claw some budget back if they were to switch from one thing to the other. So yeah, really great setup here. I love the theme because we're basically traveling through a river. That's neat. That is neat. So we're walking through, being led. Oh, we're actually going outside. Okay. So this actually would turn out to be a good place to start. Oh, wow. Yeah, great view. I don't think there's like actually, it is kind of perspective change because you notice there, we're actually climbing a little bit. Oh, that's neat. All right. So we're here. We have one spot to sit at, play some music alongside all the different ambient noise coming from the running water. But I'm going to zoom out now. So you can see how the illusion's being set up. Rocks like are all around this back area, and it's an elevation. So here's the bottom part, right? Starting here, and this spots. But yeah, water all over. It's a little shallow. You got some greens coming out, but then now we can see how the water flows. So it's flowing from here, from these fountains. Oh, this is really good. This is really, really good construction. I'm trying to climb up, and maybe I can climb up. Maybe I'm not really allowed. Maybe I'm stuck. Okay, let me leave myself visible for a bit. Just want to make sure I don't get stuck nowhere. So I think I can make my way up. It's just that I don't need to. There's nothing interactive up here, but we're just trying to like get some shots here. Yeah, fantastic work. It's like just great landscaping. There we go. The landscape on here is great. Get some shots and all that. Love the idea with the ripples. So in this case, these are using drapes. So it's using these kinds of drapes. They're dyed white, and then with this whole effect and texture, you just kind of clip through what you want people to see, and there you go. So this happens to be one drape. So what you do, you kind of take these like little ripples right here, ridge 1, ridge 2, ridge 3, and then you clip them through. And that's how you'll get multiples of those coming out. So for every one, you can get 3 of those effects. So like here's a different shape, and you can achieve the same effect. Yeah. It's been a trick that we've been seeing a lot more of lately. Really well done. What I love here though is definitely like the whole river flow. This part that rolls down here, sick. Really good. All right, so let's retreat back. So that happens to take me upstairs. I actually think I want to try, let's take a risk. Let's cut through the middle. But I also want to make sure I get some more shots here because it's just very pretty here. All right. So let's go this way. Going through the mid. And we're continuing to see this flow. You know, the flow is coming through here, over to the other side once again. We're invited to go, I think that's outside, so I think we'll go through here. We'll do the climb, and now we're on solid ground for a change. But also, we're in kind of like the coast. Oh, that's cool. Wow. Yeah, the construction here is really good. Really strong natural looks in this spot. Oh, wow. So, boom. Play a little diving board. Whee! And in we go. Lots of details. They even added like some netting down here to like catch like random stuff. Keep things a little bit clean. And then right up here, there's a niffin arch here that is made for feasting. Pies and snackies and breads and cheeses. You know, we sit here, folks are playing on the other side there, food's going, great views, nice and airy. Let's go across, and there's like water in there. Dude, ice chest. Heck yeah, dude. Nice. So there's like 1, 2 kinds of booth seating for folks to like hang out. A little wagon to like kind of take us around, and then there's like an invitation to go inside that cave as well. Right here in the mid, big old barbecue pit. Climb through, and our buddies are here. The Miss Murgles and Reptars and everything, all here to hang out. Sick. You know, here to kind of keep us company. All right, so I think we are ready to go back inside. Yeah, dude, this is very admirable work. But now we're venturing back into the cave because for the most part, it's mostly cave in this place. So we went to the right, all the way to the right. Now we're exploring kind of like the left area. So we're going to go here first. And over in the first room, there was that climb that we saw as well. So we continue to venture through this cave area. And oh, wow. I'm going to sit here. And oh, boy. Very pretty. Very pretty. This is really masterful work when it comes to, again, like the whole landscaping of things and you know, getting this really solid and natural look. Oh boy. Yeah, there is stuff to learn from here. You know, from again, like the ripples that was pointed out in chat just a little bit earlier to smaller things like having greens come out at certain spots that kind of tell us, okay, this is kind of a shallow area, even though it doesn't look like it. But yeah, it's like a shallow area that we're going through here. Yeah, really well done. And this is in, so I don't think we're meant to crawl through anywhere here. This is just to be made like into like this cool underground spot. What I noticed, actually no, that's a head. That looks it almost looks like a head that's peeking out, but I don't think it is. It's just funny because there's like one little mushroom there, right? Yeah. It's one little mushroom that happens to be a part of this whole thing, so that's just a coincidence. It's nothing like nothing crazy. But what I find curious here is that we have like these kinds of stones that happen to come together and make that sort of gap, as if there could be water coming out here. There just isn't right now. But I think that's neat. That's hella cool. This is pure coincidence. I've been making some pretty good calls on like the direction that we've been going with this build. I actually don't remember this spot at all, really. But I think once we go back into the previous room, we're going to, I think there was a stairwell room, and then we'll be able to see like maybe actual house. But what we've seen so far is super impressive. Yeah, this has been great. All right, so here we are, stairwell room, barely. Yeah, barely. I mean, we do have some walls finally, some normal walls, but we're climbing up and we have, okay, this feels familiar now. This feels slightly familiar in a way. That's kind of like a lit up floor. And we go up and same thing, right? Regular ceiling, not too much up here. It's almost like they lined the floor with like stars or something like that to give off that sort of vibe. This one's using like these darker rugs over the place to sit, and we have our wall of greens on the side. But now we enter. Now it feels like a house, or more like a bedroom actually. And what do we have here? Big centerpiece, the tree. Rug is being used as kind of a planter of sorts. So we could still say it's like a leather rug, but we can also say that's like dirt and everything's just kind of popping out from it. We have our pool table ish, yeah, with this overhead lighting utilizing these giant chains and all that. This I think I kind of remember because that's just like a big old lamppost. Here's our place to sit and vibe and like soak in, a view like this. We have a grand piano right on the side. Let's have a seat. Boop. There's our keys, beams in this case. We sometimes we see books. In this case, they wanted to use a whole bunch of small beams to create a proper shape. Kind of unfortunate because it's like, here's the platform, which is a very irregular sort of shape at the end, but oh wow. Otherwise, it would be like crazy expensive to have that set up. I mean, really expensive would be if they were to use not beams, but blank canvases as the keys. That would be really expensive. So going around here, we'll get to the window, don't worry. Kind of a workshop for rogue kind of stuffs. Little bed for all of our little friends. Not just the ones who are outside, but we got some more that are like hanging out here too. Of course, we got our place to sit. Remember, we haven't, most of this place has been like this whole natural look. So it feels like this kind of like small apartment where everything was mostly just crammed into one space. But it works out because it creates this really tight vibe. And then back here's the window we were talking about. So back here, yeah, nothing too crazy, but then we have like this carve out and the window box, window. And we have it dressed in such a way that we have like these benches. Yeah, so here's like the benches here. Some of them being clipped through and they meet here in the middle. So we can create this like flat surface. And then we have beams that are right under these. So, we have that kind of raised platform. Yeah, good color setup. But what's through the shroud? Big open area. We go through and then, boop. I remember this bathroom. I do remember this bathroom because of this ginormous mirror setup. Because he had like the rug as well as the four curved tables that are helping to create the frame here. But yeah, you have a full vanity, all the functionality, knobs, handles, spouts. I was gonna say condiments, not condiments, products, dude, products. Double shower, actually more like a single shower, and then it all blasts out, so they can just be like, oh, it could be like, they're just going nuts, and the shower just blasts them on both sides, as if it's like a machine, just get me, and then it switches to like heat fans, and then it just blows me dry as well. That'd be sick. That'd be hella cool and goofy. But if I'm not in the mood for that, I can just hop into the tub. It's all good too. One toilet to round us out, to totally sit on and hang and dangle my legs off of. All right. And I think that rounds things out. So this one was like nice and kind of quick by comparison. The note straight up said, I can ignore the upstairs. No, man, I'm not going to ignore the upstairs. We're here. And I think this is great. Great place. Once again. Downstairs was crazy. That landscaping work was so damn good. So good. So I admire that. That was very short by comparison. Wow. That was I'm kind of like, whoa. I think it's just because, what we saw was great. It is great. But there wasn't a whole lot of opportunity to like, talk about like details and things like that, because it was just like these grand creations. Very large setups. All right, so we are going to Holy Zen's place now. Let's go. Is it a druid's house? It doesn't seem to be like apparent. There was no like, it didn't scream of like any particular class. And sometimes that works out. It kind of tells you that instead of a projection of like the class or the race of that person, it's more like the player. It just happened to be that in that case. I mean, remember the outside was a triceratops kind of thing. So it's like, what do we make out of that? I don't know. But I thought that was hella cool. Alrighty. I just need a second to breathe. Alrighty. Think we're good. All right, this is Holy Zen's place. We're over in Founders, and immediately, I'm not going to go change the angle yet. We have this immediate, like, large Caldrai house that's being raised a little bit on top of these platforms. Very clean looking. Because, I don't know, something about the Caldrai house, at least here, it has... I guess we got to get used to, like, how the newer style of housing for Night Owls works, unlike what we've seen like way back in the day. It's very updoed and all that, and it has kind of a cool look. Like it almost has like this gentle blue glow to it, even when we're using like these darker woods. They seem to have like a blue filter on top of them or something like that, but it has a cool look to it, even though it looks dark. Now let's zoom out a little bit and see what else we have. Now the whole thing is being placed on like this large platform. So we climb up a couple times. Failed the lock check though. But here we have like this marbled porch, complete with grill on the side. We're having fish because I guess that's healthy or something like that. We have this nice little contradiction. We have fire water inside an ice bucket. Ironic, right? Some drinks on the side too. We can enjoy some view from the kind of up top or step down. Boom, boom, boom. Check out the flower boxes that they carved in from the side here to just give a little bit more than just the simple elevation, right? And inside here, regular sized greenhouse, and it looks like things are going quite smoothly. A couple things are growing out. This one's blowing up way more than those roses, but it's all good. This is all flanked by a giant tree. And you can see the elevations here. They're just kind of like suspended, left blank. But back here, one little swing. One little, now, unfortunately, it doesn't move. It'd be nice if it did, but oh well. But it is for two, so that's cute. That was a fun discovery. But yeah, we could all sit, enjoy the views, propose, and all that. It's like, girl, will you be my twos partner? And then she's like, nah, man, your rating sucks. Sorry, buddy. Like, you're great and all, but you just don't interrupt when you should. He's like, damn it. Shut down again. All right, let's head on inside and let's see what we got. Okay, so there's a note that says click the cash register. Click the cash register. All right. Interesting. So once we enter, we're invited, of course, to lay down our arms. We better. Otherwise, something will instantly kill us. And we come in, boop, boop, as we step inside. Immediate welcome, very welcoming. Dude, I'm going to sit right down. Yo, what do we got? What's cooking? Right? And then back there, it looks like we have like a giant couch. So we'll take a look at that in a bit. But first, kitchen stuff. We can admire the kitchen stuff right from back here. So double beams that are being used to make this fridge. We have these razor wind tables to help set up the whole countertop. Shelves, shelves, shelves. And let's take a look at that window. Along with the kit bash in here. Very interesting because we have like this sort of raised stove with this feels like a belt to me. But we have like this extension here that gives us all the gauges and knobs and whatnot. Nice and easy for big orcish hands. If you wanted something like that. I mean, if you look at, like, swear, if you actually look at the hands of like orcs, humans, elves, they're like massive. So we actually do need like some big instruments to work with. Right here, very cool. They did their best to like kind of kit bash the illusion of like cutting up fruit. That's actually a lot of work that went into that. So really good job there. Salt and pepper, little condiment stuff. What's inside here? Gold, baby. Because once you're done with, cutting up the fish and everything, you just grab some gold coins and just, you salt bay it. But it's gold. Gold flakes. There you go. So whoever lives here are rich. Oh boy. Okay, I want to look at this, like, this giant, dude, look at this couch. You get lost in this couch, dude. Total couch fort. So here I am. Oh, man. This is super comfy. I'm just rolling all over this thing, if I could. And what am I playing? Games. Whatever I feel like playing. Awesome. Interesting that behind the TV is more room. Actually, it's more like a retail spot. Huh. Interesting. Okay, this is very interesting. So there's another door, right? So it's like, okay, there's a lot of stuff that I'm missing. Don't worry, we'll get to it. So here's like the home door, right? And here's the house. Back there, though, is like the retail spots for the public. But the only thing separating it are two little shrouds. Now, they might be magic shrouds, okay? They might cancel out all noise. They might be impenetrable. Like if someone else tries to walk through, they get zapped into oblivion. Who knows? But looks-wise, interesting choice on how they did the layout and everything. So let's keep exploring this room. First off, the clock. Pass by this guy. I think this thing's sick. You know, kind of basic setup here, but it's effective, and I like the shaping of it because it's not trying to be like this very grand grandfather clock, but it's just being a tall clock. Feels epic and all that. We have special piping. We have our minute. We have our hour and minute hands. All the basic shaping that we need, but it's just cool because it retains like this whole ethereal vibe to it. It's not trying to look like an old school or a real life grandfather clock. It's being its own thing. And I respect that. Just like I respect this giant love seat. Now, how much am I clipping? A lot. But you know what? Whatever. It's all good. It looks great though. Very inviting. Just don't actually sit on it because otherwise your lower half will fuse with it and you will die. But around here, yeah, so we have more stuff back there. We have an upstairs thing here. I think we're going to go into this kind of public shop now. So we cross through. Boop, and we're going to pretend we have the alternate entrance. So we come in through here. Ta-da! And this is what we see. Which is kind of a not really mirror image of the other house, but this definitely feels like, again, it's a bit more, feels like a more public of a space, especially because of the signage. That's what I'm getting at of this mostly. So what I think is really cool little detail. You have your beams that are acting as like your shelf, but they used straight up wall shelves here to act as like the public facing countertop. I think that's really cool. I think that's a very good good bit of detail there because it gives us a little bit more of shaping of this sort of what would be like a table or like a bar sort of thing, because otherwise there isn't really like a lot of room for people to actually sit. But here it makes a whole lot of sense with having like the bar stools and whatnot that are being set up, but there's room for our legs. So I think that's a really good detail. Now, right back here is that cash register that we were talking about. So I'll click that a little bit later. I want to finish exploring the room because for all I know, that might teleport us to like Narnia or something like that. We have a different kind of bar shelf that comes out. This is for like the making a coffee. Very cool. Here is where I guess, you know, once we're done with like prepping food or whatnot, we just come over, lay it down up here. They can go ahead and grab it, do what they want. Lots of drink things are happening here, actually. Actually, it's all drink things. So is this like a coffee or like a smoothie bar? Oh, that could be a thing too. So we have our cups and everything. We have stuff that's mixing. We got ingredients, flavors, stuff like that. No blender, unless we count the hammer. But the hammer is not a blender. It's a hammer. Be smart, buddy. Here we have the fire water inside of the ice once again. Some poison liquor stuff, some coffee things, wine, right here in the center of the room. Yeah, so I think this is more like, yeah, it's a big old bar spot. Nice. Lots of ways to sit. Look at this AI thing doing a 3D painting of all things. It's very, well, it's very ambitious. How about that? All right, let's make our way. Oh, check out the overhead lighting here. Ah, now take a look. We are in a stairwell room. So they fit all this stuff in a stairwell room. One big beam is like jammed right here to act as like this, like an overhead to kind of close off the area here. Very effective. Interesting choice of like having a window there that's right under stairs, because that kind of like does weird things with the perspective. Maybe other things could have been done. I know they did a little bit here with the Mechagon light. But yeah, click the cash register, they said. Okay. Boom. Yay. I think that's all they want us to do. Yeah. Cool. So it's going. Heck yeah. Go cash register. All right. Look at the wine manufacturing with the gauges on the top in the corner. Oh, this right here. Like, boop. We got fidget spinners we want to click on. That works. So boop. So you got a bit of an interaction here. All right, so I think we're going to I think we're gonna head up. Yeah, we'll try heading up. So first off though, just kind of a almost random loo. Just boop, you got your stall in here. Someone or something is in there. A giant flower is in there, actually. Cool. But once we're done, we just come out here to rinse off, dry our hands, and then we're good to go. That's an interesting way of doing it. So here is a boop. It is closed. Well, I at least want to peek. If it's work in progress stuff, it's work in progress stuff. But we're going to go back. Maybe this is like the employees only sort of spots because there does seem to be things up here. I was not told to not go anywhere. So we're going to keep exploring, buddies. So right up top these stairs, or as we go up these stairs, I think we're going into like, again, employees only sort of spots or where like the family like lives. And we're going to be going up for a little bit actually. All right, so we're going to be, I kind of threw myself off with the layout. So let's start exploring up here on this floor and we'll see where this takes us. So right here, this almost feels like this kind of feels like a massage area almost because we have like these big recliners. If we wanted to like just lay down here and do our thing, so here I am sitting, kind of funny, but I'm sitting. But then we also have like an altar up there. So maybe it's more like one of those like guru meditation lounges or something like that. So we sit, then the person's up here, they're like reading stuff. Or it could be something that's, something holy or whatnot. Yeah, not quite sure, not entirely sure what to make of that. But let's go here now into, ooh, wow, a very grand bedroom all of a sudden. Yeah, so the layout is taking me to like all sorts of like different places. Like, yo, here's a crazy bedroom. Super spacious centerpiece with a fountain there. And by the way, the budget is getting pretty full. A lot of space in this spot though, but check out the grand vanity here. Big spot, plenty of space for everything. And let's do the climb up here. Where is it? There's space for the boss and puppy and slippers. Check it out. Little tiny slippers there. I have no, I can see cushions there, but what is this object here? A mug. That's brilliant. That's smart. Mugs are on the side, and then, these are like the feet part. I like that. That's a nice little detail. We even got a little alarm clock. Boop, 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 boop. Highly interactive. Very fun. You can see paintings left on the side. This place is a little bit closed off, opportunities to like take some of these window drapes and like close them up. Make it feel a little bit warmer. Meanwhile, puppies out there just kind of keeping watch. Let's see, we have just our spread of cabinets for clothing, things that we're hanging up. What's in this display case? We got a little tiny diorama. As for what exactly is happening there, I am not sure. Like, I'm not sure what that little object is there. It looks like a cup almost, but yeah, I'm not sure. Because here we have like another object here. It's an upturned chest. It's a fish tank. Oh, okay. So I think you're right. So this is the shot, right? Okay. So if here is the intended shot, then that would be a fish, and this would be I like this is a water pump, right? It could be that. Yeah. You may be right. All right, so right through here, it's Finding Nemo. Oh, wait, don't tell me this whole thing is Finding Nemo. That'd be crazy. But yeah, in this bathroom, right? Yes. Oh, okay, this is grand. Oh boy. So, big old sink. No, okay, and vanity, right, of course. Love the whole makeup setup there. We turn around and this thing is super dressed up. So let's check out the hot tub. Actually, it's not a hot tub. It's a cool tub because it's not. Usually, we see the earthen hot tub. That's like a very standard thing. In this case, though, it's very cool instead, being dressed with all these different light sources, candles that are surrounding us. We have like some purple lights up top and to the sides. One more light source that's coming from this Niffin window, as well as the steel window over there. And it's like, oh, it's so bright. Let me just take this hookah and relax. Like, oh, but this is nice. So it's like we sit and here's like our view. Yeah, so we have a lot of nice glows here. And also we have like these, a lot more of these Dranthes lights that are just kind of like shooting out. And in this case, these Dranthes lights, they do produce their own light. So that's why you're getting some of these pinkish glows that are coming out. But I like how tightly this place is put together, even if it is like, pretty spacious too. So maybe they could add a little bit more, any number of things. But it looks like it's not something where you can like actually make the room smaller. But maybe they can do like a big old walk-in closet sort of thing. That could be kind of cool too. So that happens to be like a bedroom all of a sudden. And then right here on the side in this kind of corner spot, kind of carved out another place to sort of like hang out. Yeah. This is one of those situations where I question, it's like, okay, do we need to, how much space do we need to actually use for stuff? Like if you wanted to fill things out, do we need like all these different places to read and things like that? That's a tough question though, because it's a question of taste, and maybe we do want to have lots of places for people to read and study and do things. But then other places they'll be a lot more minimalist. Well, they'll just like offer like one little spot. Um, and as a personal preference, it's something that I enjoy seeing, because then I have to like kind of like ask myself, okay, why is there like this like another place for people to like hang out and sit and drink and whatnot? And sometimes the story doesn't really land. But I'm also making stuff up too. Now this room is heavy on the greens. You can see like these deep, not exactly Colterian greens. Like you don't see it on that end, but you definitely see it here on this end. So it's really strong here. We're taking views, we're looking outside. The floor, you notice how we have like these white floors. We have like kind of a mix of different colors that are dancing here. Nothing that's clashing or anything. But it's not a very consistent theme around here because we don't have anything of the same sorts on that side, but it's much stronger here on this side. Right through here, though, place the dress. Nice and private. They're doing their own thing. They're quite vain. many small mirrors. All right, so we go out here. We got some clothes that are drying out because there ain't no dryer around here. We have another kind of personal vanity here. Lots of room for product. I like this because I think that's supposed to be a table, but it can easily double up. We could just use our imagination to be like, oh no, that's just like a big old thing of like, I don't know, a sort of makeup. And we open the whole thing up and there's like stuff in there. So it kind of like does it on its own, which is cool. All right, so I think we're going to go through that door next. And I think there's going to be quite a bit of backtracking that we'll be doing too. So right through here is what feels like the bathroom proper. So like we saw a very boss level bathroom on one end. We're seeing kind of the same thing here. which has a kind of a similar vibe. So instead of the white marble, we have like the wood setup here, but same difference. You know, thin vanity here, a collection of items on the other side. We're just seeing like kind of a mirror image of it, which I think is kind of cool. Very interesting setup with the with the loo too, because it's facing right at the door. Like someone comes in, you're locking eyes, and then things get really awkward really fast. But we have our TP, we have all the things that we need. I almost feel like this glow is kind of funny to me though. It almost feels like there's like some sort of like weird ionic technology happening here where it's like when I'm standing here, some sort of tech or some sort of radioactive thing is like sanitizing my body or something like that. It's just a weird black light kind of effect that I'm getting out of this because of the way the filigree lights are bouncing off of these blues. It's just a very interesting glow. But then right back here, boom, private tub. Waterfall, shower right here. Boom, boom. We take care of our stuff. It's just, you know, not being used right now. Water's empty. Dry ourselves off, get dressed, and we're good to go. I do find that funny though. And then up here, oh, that's interesting. So check out what's going on up top, right above the venue and everything. Beams. We have some upside down earthen beds. Right up there is, you know, some of the cool here in Brandon again, but also the Kraken back there. So a lot of pieces that help to fill out this wall space. You know, I think it's pretty good. So let's retreat back again, back into the half Kulturen room. Okay, well, I guess they got some green there, so I guess we're good, right? We're good on the mansion. Yeah, so never mind. I'll walk it all back. They covered it. We're fine. Yeah, so that was cool Tyrion, and then this one was like kind of like a human elf sort of vibe. Yeah. All right, so let's retreat back again. We're back in this spot here where we have this kind of ultra relaxy spot, and now we are invited to once again go upstairs. Oh crap. Okay, this is gonna be very, very. There's a lot to. We're gonna be here for a while, guys. So we're gonna retreat back now, and hopefully I'll get my orientation straight. Go buy some other branding. I've seen I've seen variations of this where we want to try to make a sort of like fresco where you have like these statues that are partially embedded into the wall. I hope what I try to pull off in my cafe works out because it's very excessive. it's gonna be just way too much. It's like, yo, dude, so why did you use so much budget on this? I don't know. So we're climbing up these set pieces. Table down there, strong Pandoran vibes as we climb a little bit higher. We get to the top and they created more extensions out here. So that's going to be like the next spot. But what's through here? Here we have a bathroom. All right. Bathroom, a big bathroom setup, including collections, just like before. So again, very strong on that particular theme. They love having like these very large, very epic bathrooms, except for the toilet. In this case, they just use that. All right, so with the clock. All right, so let's see what else we got here. I really like this setup though. Having the mirror being framed with those beams makes it really clean for people who want to have that kind of sunken kind of look to it. So here we have another major bedroom, it looks like. Dorm room. So we have two sets of beds. We've got Reptar, we got Miss Murgles, we got trains. Okay, this I find funny. With them coming out like that. Now, what are we doing here? We're sitting across from this void barrel. Inside is a Tesla coil. So what are we doing? I'm not sure. Oh well. But around the spot, it is a bedroom. you know, we have places to sit. We got storage for clothing. Bit of a personal touch. But also like their own bedroom. I'm sorry, their own beds. Okay. Let's go through here where we see a very suspicious arrow. And now we enter a stairwell room? Yes, we did. Wait. So sorry. Again, orientation. So a stairwell room over here. Bedroom over here. And that's okay, I get it. That's why the bathroom is here. Because I had to link together somehow. Got it. Got it. All right, so we enter another stairwell room where it happens to be at the top. So I think we've kind of made our way around, essentially. So I think we're starting to interconnect here. We're back to the greens, but this time I think this is a different set of greens that we saw from the earlier Kultiran rooms. This seems to be a bit more of a brighter forest green than what we saw. Here's the other bathtub that I was given a shout out to just earlier. Before we saw like a different kind of tub. This time we get the one that is much more expected. Place to once again sit. We have like this kind of couch setup. Check it out. So we have like this bench and then these smaller chairs that are just kind of like sitting under it. And then ta-da, we have a couch. Because Boros don't have a couch really. Yeah, we gotta kind of make do. Human folk stuff. Very easy couch. The rugged couch isn't really a couch, it's more like a bench. Elves don't really have anything, so again, we gotta kind of like make do. So we're making our way down now. Going past these green themes, these Kultiran themes once again. And we make it to what I believe is, yes, we made it to the other side of this setup here. We made it. We've effectively looped around. Yay. So we're not lost anymore. Yay. And we need a breather. We got to take a moment to sit, have some water, get a little bit of nourishment in us. And I think we're ready to go down now. Because I believe this should be a unfamiliar descent as we go down. Note all the class flags and what have you. Bookshelves lining the lot. And some gaming down here. All right. The common Freywood table is doing its good work of acting as like the kind of like the standard bearer for all the different kinds of pool tables available. We're playing some cards. We're reading books. We're chilling. Very bright inside. You can see like the contrast that's coming from like the blue lights here, and then the lots of nothing here. The lights that are coming from the Brala string lights, they don't count, unfortunately. Although I do think I see one. Yeah, there might be one light here, actually. Is it? Nope, that's actually the different one. So yeah, there's actually no lights that are emanating from the lights here. So it's all coming from the blue lights. We retreat back a little bit more. And we made it all the way around. Wow, what a layout. Again, very roundabout. And I admit sometimes, like when it comes to these kinds of layouts that have that interconnectivity, I get kind of confused. Like personally, I prefer wings in my house. And I think we haven't gone through here yet. So let's take a look at what we have here. Because we have this kind of closet space that we're passing by, and we have this opening here. I don't think that's intended. I don't think we needed to do that. But we'll climb up these pipes. Boop, boop. Actually, no, that was a secret. Okay. So what do we have here? Very different themes back here. So I don't know if it's like a kid's room or whatnot. I mean, it can be. Here's like a storybook. Kid can sit there. Or actually, yeah, here's a place where they can like actually sit. And it feels like a kid's decorative wall. Although, is it really? Because we got fishies, but we also got Kraken, which might be kind of scary for kids. or at least for me. Maybe I'm just projecting and speaking for myself. But very pretty setup here. Yeah, very bright, very colorful in the presentation there. And it's all customized too. You can see here, like we see the framing of these beams that are coming across. You can see the clip there. So that's not just a provided thing. They went ahead and closed all this up so they can make all these illusions work. And then back here, some sinister thing. Okay, maybe not that sinister, but we have some a little bit more of the dirty work is happening back here. Experiments, things that have been collected, that we don't want the public to see. Man, this place is huge. This is a lot of ground cover. And here's how we finish up the lab with one order hall table. Wow, this was a lot. This is a whole lot to explore, dude. Because we started off with house. Here, let me go back here again. We started off with house, and on the other end, public cafe. We go into like this sort of like massage bar parlor sort of spots, huge beds, a whole bunch of huge bedrooms, very extensive spot. I don't know if my feedback's going to be worth much of anything with this particular build, but there was just like so much going on. I feel like the themes here, they ended up being like a little bit confusing because I was like, okay, what am I trying to see here? Is the designer trying to communicate something to us? Maybe they're not, and that would be okay. But at least I know for me, like it's a personal thing, a very personal thing. When the layouts interconnect like that, it's really hard to make a very cohesive build, especially when it becomes larger and larger and larger, because I start to lose myself in where I am. And I'm like, okay, was that from a previous house or am I in the same place? Because like here I am, I'm here for like, 30 something minutes and I'm not quite sure where I'm going. So personally, again, I prefer wings. So it's like, okay, here's like this wing, and it's going to be strong on the Kulturen theme. And then here's this other wing. This is going to be strong on like this other stuff. And then I guess thoughts can be better organized when carving out rooms. But that's all I got to say. Otherwise, like especially at the start here, this started out great. And everything was great too. Again, just a little confusing at times. And that rounds things out. So I want to give a big, big thanks to everyone who let me or who let us visit their place today. Very grateful as always. Unfortunately, the queue is full. It filled up super, super fast yesterday. So I'm not going to have room for folks until like next week or so. Next week's going to be a trip. There's going to be, I hope there's going to be a lot going on. Whew. And let's give ourselves like a bit of a rest. I'll be working on trying to get more around Azeroth cuts out, not just Monday through Fridays, but also on the weekends, so people can enjoy new stuff that comes in on those days as well without breaks. That'd be nice. But for now, off I go. You guys have a great rest of your day. I'll see you guys for the next thing, and until next time, stay safe, stay healthy.